Welcome to the special edition Friday night episode of the Wind Up Podcast, brought to you from our brand new studio in Midtown Pasadena. I'm Steve Medina, along with Junior Aguilar, our producer, Julio Ramirez. And Junior, why don't you introduce our special guest today?
Man, hey, I'm so excited. I've been trying to get Mo on for the longest. We finally got him in the house, man. Mo Betta in the building.
Mo Betta. Can we call you Mo Betta?
Mo Betta.
Mo Betta, okay.
I like it. So,
hey, well, thank you for joining us on a Friday night. Obviously, we're on Friday because on Tuesday, our normally scheduled day, we had technical difficulties, Junior. And,
yes, we did.
You know what the funny thing is I think some people didn't actually believe that we had technical difficulties. Like we didn't want to go out or come on that night, but we actually had technical difficulties. So that's what made it kind of funny.
Yeah, no, for real. The technician was here fixing the Ethernet cable, and he's like, man, something chewed through it. Well, it looked like somebody chewed through it, but really what happened was that bulldozer out there, that Bobcat, just got it. And just messed it all up, man. So they got it up and running. If you go outside the house, you'll see the wire still on.
Well, that's what happens when the lowest possible bidder actually does the work. So shout out to the city of Pasadena.
That's AT&T.
Oh, shout out to AT&T for going with the lowest possible bidder. But yeah, man. So it was kind of awkward when I was at home on Tuesday night, trying to watch TV, and man, I don't even know what was on Tuesday, and so I was kind of lost. And then my wife asked me to do something. I came right back down to reality.
I was the same way, Steve.
Yeah, right. So we're here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have a caller who's going to call in later on. Junior, why don't you tell us who's calling in?
All right. So we have the director of ZT Baseball, based out of Central Texas, Cookie Ibarra, in the building. He'll be calling in.
He'll be calling in later on this evening, and we'll talk to him about what they got going on at ZT Baseball. What their plans are, what they're trying to do, and what they've done in the past. So it's going to be an interesting conversation with Mr. Cookie. And also, Junior, why don't you show everybody your shirt that you're wearing right now?
I got the official Wind Up shirt on.
Well, you got to stand up because nobody can really see you.
Let me post up.
Post up. Junior, post up.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. That's the official shirt.
So that's the official shirt right now of the Wind Up Podcast, and you know who we should thank for that?
Who should we thank, man?
Mr. Cookie Ibarra as well.
Oh, he came through.
He came through. I talked to this guy on Thursday. No, excuse me, I'm lying. I talked to him on Wednesday night, and he said, Steve, I will have him in Houston on Friday. And of course, you hear that from some of these shirt guys, and maybe they'll call you back, maybe they won't, maybe they'll forget your order.
They give you the wrong shirt?
Give you the wrong shirt, or just completely forget about you.
Hey, I'm not going to put nobody on blast, but one time I ordered shirts, and instead of getting like the regular crew necks, boy gave me V-necks.
V-necks?
Yeah.
Did you keep them?
Yeah.
Did you get a refund?
No.
See, that's the problem. Yeah, people let these guys get away with murder, and they don't say anything, so they continue to keep on doing it, but we're not talking about that right now. So shout out to Cookie Bar for giving us these shirts. I'll show my C4 shirt later on today, too, so we want to thank him. We're also going to talk to him ad nauseum. But, man, Junior, it seems like we haven't been on for a while.
Not for real.
Yes, I mean, we've been doing the football, so shout out to the check down. Thanks for everybody who checks in to the check down, man, doing crazy numbers over there. People love youth football.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
People love youth football.
And we got somebody on the table that
Mo Betta.
Betta does both, so at the highest level, too. Right?
Yeah, I guess so.
You know what I mean? So
we're modest, man.
just the right touch.
Yeah. So having said all that, so now we're back to the baseball one in our brand new studio that we've been working on. The contractor's been working on as well. I mean, it's a little bit of give and take from us and also from them as well. So why don't you tell us about the new studio, Junior?
All right, so we got the new studio here. This used to be the old Isa Cookie studio. And it was just all white, so I decided, because of the way the wood's on the wall, I said, man, we got to do something about it. So I did the rainbow theme there, and you guys actually helped out. And
well, we did a little bit more than help out, but okay, thank you for that little shout out.
Yeah, of course. And we put it together. Then Julio found us a table on Facebook. We got it up here. We painted it. I ordered the stools, but I got them at 30 inches instead of 24.
So we had to do some modifications.
So we had to do modifications to the tables. So now we're up and running. So, we got a couple TVs in here. And
Yeah, we're
one
still
doesn't-
not completely set up.
We're still not completely set up because we're still doing a brand new backdrop.
Yeah, we will be
and
getting a
all
new
that good
backdrop.
stuff.
Yeah, we have about 3 or 4 TVs in here. Some of you may not see it just based on the camera angles, but we're gonna have about 4 TVs in here so we can see. We're not gonna show you where Julio's at because we don't want anybody taking our stuff. But trust me, Julio's got new gear, new equipment, and a new setup spot. So you'll be able to see him every now and then, a little bit more than the last time, right?
Julio can be like that guy from Home Improvement.
Yeah.
The guy that's just
From the
over
fence?
over the
Just
fence.
see my eye. That's it.
Wilson.
Yeah, there you go.
Be Wilson.
Yeah, I ain't gonna see nothing past my nose.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So since the last time when we were here, we lost Garrett Cole.
Oh, don't. Let's
Well,
talk about
we
that.
got to bring him up because we lost him. Your boy Rendon went to where'd he go? The
Angels.
Okay.
So finally,
Anything else happen? Or those are 2 major ones at the winter meetings?
Strasburg.
Oh,
stayed put.
Strasburg stayed put. Yeah.
What do you think about that move from Garrett Cole, Mo? Do you blame him?
No, man. Go get the money.
Got to get the money, man. Got to get the money.
man.
Mo, I tell Junior this all the time, and he's kind of like doesn't believe me. But I tell him, this is a job to those guys.
It's business, man.
And so they're going to go get the money. If they happen to win, man, that's just like icing on the cake,
That's all
the
it
cherry
is.
on top. Because I know guys right now who are still pissed off that the Astros lost the World Series. And Correa's over there in the pool in Punta Cana just chilling. He got married,
Care
doing
less
a
about it.
dance. Yeah, I mean,
less about it.
yeah, but my friends are still pissed off that they lost. But no, boys over there having a great time.
Yeah.
You see that little dance he did on his wedding?
No.
Y'all did it? You guys see it on
No.
Instagram?
Oh, let's pull it up.
Hey, I'll tell you what though. This morning, whenever I opened Facebook, the first thing that popped up was Juan's post, and I was like, that post he said that
Oh.
Correa was traded. It kind of fooled me. I was like, man, what the hell? And I started trying to get on ESPN, trying to hurry up. And then I read the comments. You got me, Juan.
What did he
That was
do?
pretty good.
I wasn't on there.
Juan put a post that said Carlos Correa has been traded. Some, and I did the same thing. I was like, man, I didn't get the alert, so I go to ESPN, nothing. So I went to the Facebook, nothing. I said, man, and then I read the comments, and he's like, I'm just preparing for when he leaves. I got the post. I'm like, God damn, Juan.
Yeah.
Man.
After the game, you got to go to work, and they go home and spend that money.
Yeah. Look, there you go. Check it out, Mo Better. Look at that. He's a little stiff, but he's doing well.
Hey,
Pocket full of money.
Yeah. We don't got no sound on that.
Fine old lady.
Put that sound on it.
put that sound.
He that's Daddy Yankee.
Oh, who's on? Is that Tony Kemp?
Yeah, Tony Kemp's in there.
Yeah.
What? Oh. How come you didn't get invited, Steve?
So, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, that's choreographed pretty good.
Yeah, they
How come them
practice.
boys from Strike Zone out there? I mean, aren't they affiliated with Carlos Correa? That's the word on the street. I mean, I don't know, man. You hear so
Hey,
many
look.
stories.
Hey, you see him right there in the back. Look. Nah, I'm just playing.
See that fresh haircut he has, right?
Yeah. No, you ain't lying about that. Oh, man. Shout out Danny over there cutting hair.
Yeah, all them stories,
Strike
man.
zone.
Stories.
Man, that's a pretty good little spot right there, man. I give him credit.
Oh, man.
Man,
Anyways.
I see you.
Oh,
I
my-
see you. Hey,
Hey, but his rib was broken.
I bet you right now he's on the IL right now, 15 days.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He's hurt right now. I guarantee you, man. So Correa got married. Cole left. Your boy Marisnik got shipped to New
Mets?
York to the Mets.
No, that was
Yeah, to the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah, to the Mets.
Who's gonna take his spot in the rotation? Ukiti?
I don't know.
I'm down.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a good move.
Hey.
I mean, Lance McCullers coming back, so
Yeah,
I mean,
but he's coming off of Tommy John. He's
okay.
gonna
So
get-
where do you put Greinke? Do you put him number 2,
Yeah, he's got to be number
He
2.
gotta be
Dude,
number
hey,
2?
listen. Excuse me.
or does McCullers take that
Nah,
spot?
McCullers, he's
Nah.
only going to throw 100 innings, dude. He's coming off of Tommy John. You can't
Man.
expect all that stuff. But listen,
McCullers
here's the
threw
deal.
what?
The Astros lost the World Series because A.J. Hinch did not trust Greinke. He did not trust him in the
I agree.
playoffs.
I agree.
He did not trust him in the playoffs
That is
at
okay.
all. At all.
Okay.
So A.J. Hinch has to do something about how he's treating Greinke, and then maybe we're going to see.
It's because, man, Zach Greinke, he doesn't say much. You know, he's just like, all
That's
right.
because, man, analytics, man. Analytics has taken over the game. We don't manage by feel anymore.
Yeah,
At
that's
that-
how.
at
How do
that
you feel
point,
about that, Mo?
Man, you got to find a happy medium right there because sometimes you have to feel the game.
Yeah.
You know, you got to feel the flow, the momentum, how my guy looks. think about it. When Greinke when they took him out of the game, they had only maybe 2 good hits off of him.
Yeah, they were off balance.
They were off balance.
Soft hits. Yeah.
Man, come on, let the guy stay out there. Give him one more batter.
Yeah, my boy Ernest. I don't know if they actually try to keep him, but there's reports. Somebody said that it was. Man, I can't remember. But you know what? I think
I said, man,
they gave a half-ass effort to try to get him. They weren't going to go. What did he sign for?
324.
Yeah, they weren't going to go there. They weren't going to go there.
We wouldn't.
They weren't going to go there.
But the way you have to look at baseball, man, the roster they start with will not be the roster they finish with if they get into the pennant race.
Right.
You know,
Agreed.
because they're going to trade prospect for arms.
Agreed.
The closer you get to the trade deadline, so, you know.
Well, Forrest Whitley has to start. He needs to come up.
Think about it. What did we know about Garrett Cole before he came to the Stros? He was a good pitcher. Don't get me wrong.
And he threw hard.
He threw hard, but now look what happens.
Yeah.
You know, so
Man,
there's another Garrett Cole out there, man.
Yeah,
Come.
man. I hope Wheatley's the dude, man.
He better be.
Look, Corbin Martin looked good last year, and I was kind of sad when we let him go for Greinke. But after, screw it. All right,
Bro, I'm never sad when you trade a prospect who hasn't done it in the majors for a bona fide major leaguer who's proven himself. I'll take that all day.
But you gotta trust them.
I
But if you don't trust them, I guess.
And if they so happen to be good, man, so be it.
So be
I mean,
it.
yeah, I mean that's the risk you take.
Well, it's hard to win a championship, man. So when you have an opportunity to win a championship, you can't worry about a prospect.
Yeah, you can't.
8 outs away, Mo.
8 outs away. It's hard to win, man.
Why you gotta bring this up, man?
Okay, so you weren't the person I was talking about, but you definitely are that person. So you're still salty about it.
Still salty.
Man,
man.
Correa's swimming with dolphins, and you're still mad at it.
Man, I was there watching these damn games. That's
but
why.
Man, look, I'm a New Orleans Saints fan. I'm still pissed off about that call. I will not forget it, man.
Pass interference.
What? That's pass interference.
Oh yeah. Hey man, but they've been hoeing them all season, man. Right?
Say that one more time.
They've been hoeing them.
Oh yeah, screwing us big time.
Cause that happened like what, Monday night was it, or a Sunday night game? They were in the red zone, a couple flags.
Oh, when we played Carolina.
Yeah, there you go. That's what it was.
Big time, talking about they weren't overturning any pass interference, but they overturned that call and give them pass interference on that. So, hey, man, when you're from New Orleans, we used to fighting from the bottom, baby. We ain't worried about that. We still going to do what we do.
Man, look, somebody commenting on here. Mike Fiers is available. Man, get out of here.
So we keeping Tucker or what?
Yeah, we have to.
Who are you going to trade him for now? I mean, shoot, he got exposed last year. You're not going to get what you're supposed to get. But you see that question about Forrest Whitley right there?
Yeah. What about Forrest?
You think he's going to be number 3? Hey, is Peacock is he a free agent?
Yes.
I know McHugh is, right?
Yes.
I've only been to 2 Astro games since I've been living here for 4 years, and the game I went to was the Orioles series because one of the guys I graduated high school with and played with coming up through junior high is Bobby Dickerson. He's now the bench coach for the Padres, but at that time he was the third base coach for the Baltimore Orioles. So when he comes to town, man, we can get the royal treatment, man. My kids got a chance to hang out with Machado and Adam Jones, get autographs. Even Wade Miley, man. I know Wade Miley.
He was playing over there, huh?
Yeah, he was playing at the time, but Wade Miley is from LaRonge, Louisiana, right?
That's right.
So I met Wade Miley when he was being recruited by or scouted by the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. So him and his dad came up and played in the Sugarcane League game at my high school, and that's when I first met him. So when he saw me, he's like, man, I remember you.
Nice.
So, since he's been in town, I hadn't made any contact with him, but it was just a good story. My kids got a chance to, they get a chance to go on the field and go back to the hotel and hang out with those guys and stuff. So
it's
pretty
a
cool.
different world out there.
Jim Palmer, man, sitting down, tossing them back, baby. Y'all know who Jim Palmer is, right?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you like the Orioles or what? Have you been to Camden Yards?
No, I never went, but I'm thinking about going out to San Diego and catch a game now that he's out there.
Okay.
Because we get the chance to do things that people don't get a chance to do because he's the bench coach.
Yeah.
Man. So,
Yeah.
and like I said, he and I, we grew up playing baseball together, graduated high school together. Still pretty good friends.
Man, San Diego's a nice city too.
Beautiful city.
Oh, hey, that
La Jolla.
stadium's nice.
Hey,
Man.
but
all that there's nice.
going back to Camden Yards,
I hate it.
you hate it because
I'm
I've heard
not a
like
big
some
fan of
people
it.
say like, man, this is like one of the top
You know what?
5
Listen,
stadiums.
Listen, Junior.
It was
honestly,
a hitter's ballpark. I know that.
I'm going to tell you. I hear that all the time. Somebody needs to.
I
I
need
need
to
to go
go.
with
I haven't
somebody so
gone
they
there.
can explain to me why it is. Because it's nothing, dude. It's okay. First of all, Baltimore's an ugly city, other than the harbor. It's straight up ugly.
Pretty
Okay.
depressing looking.
Oh, it's terrible, terrible. And so then you go in there, and you got in center field, you got Boog Powell's
Boog Powell.
terrible barbecue. And so, but the only good thing is you smell the smoke like from all over the stadium because they're out there smoking. They're smoking pork out there.
You know, when I was growing up, you know, I don't know how you are, but I grew up in the 70s, and the Orioles were a pretty good ball club back then when Earl Weaver was managing, and they had Ken Singleton, Murray, those guys right there, man. They were pretty good. Flanagan, they were pretty good ball club.
I mean, it looks pretty cool. I mean, I guess, right? I mean,
Nah, it's not cool. Yeah,
do
I
you
mean,
think,
it
Mo?
looks okay. If it didn't have that warehouse right there in right field, then it becomes like Ranger Stadium. What is it called?
That's a warehouse?
Yeah, well, it's a building.
That looks like a building.
Kind of like a dorm room.
Hey, Minute Maid's way better than that.
Oh, Minute Maid's the best, dude.
So,
I think it's the best.
So
one.
the best park I ever been to is AT&T Park in San Francisco,
San Fran.
and probably the second best one is that PNC one in Pittsburgh. That's underrated, dude. That is
PNC.
real
Did you
nice.
see the picture they posted with the lights?
No,
all in
no,
the
no.
infield?
No, I did not. That's a nice park right there. That's really, really nice. And then I'll go to Petco in San Diego because it's just nice.
Orioles, man.
Yeah.
Man.
But did you see that picture, man? If you find a better one, man, I'm telling you, Pittsburgh, man, nice
where
thing.
it's at?
It's right, yeah. Then they got that bridge right
Oh,
there.
hey,
Yeah,
man,
that's
for
great.
you-
That's a
for
great
you-
view
for you
right there.
baseball heads, you know, the Orioles had the best pitching staff in the history of baseball, right?
Were
Was
you
it
talking
back in the
you
day?
talking about with Mike Cuellar?
1971,
With
they
Mike
had
Cuellar.
420 game winners.
Yeah.
Damn.
420 game. Mike Cuellar, Palmer, McAnally, and Dobson.
Yeah.
420 game winners.
Yeah.
The only other team was the 1920 Chicago White Sox, and I don't count that because that's before the
420
color.
games?
Yeah. That's never going to
420
happen again.
Never again.
Never
Because,
gonna happen
but they don't
again.
let them pitch long enough, man. You
Exactly.
got set up. And when I was coming up, you had a guy who started would go 7 innings. You would have a setup guy, and you would have the closer.
Right.
You know, that was it.
Yeah.
You know,
So
now-
that's never going to happen again.
Now everybody's on the pitch count.
Hey,
Right.
You know what's funny? Everybody's on the pitch count in the MLB, and nobody's on the pitch count in USSSA. How does that work out?
I've had discussions with coaches about that.
Yeah.
You know,
And we're going to talk about that because that's been happening a lot. I know we addressed it a couple of episodes ago, right? But it keeps on happening. If you remember,
well,
yeah. Well, no wonder
Not so
both of them
much-
are terrible, Matthew.
not so much with the top teams, man. Because to be a top team, you have to have pitching depth. So those guys, they pretty much don't throw their good guys on Saturdays, man.
Yeah, for
You know,
sure.
they wait till Sunday, you know, because who cares what happened on Saturday if you got a real good team? I mean, last weekend we played and we were the 8th seed,
Yeah.
and we went to the finals.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't care about that.
Yeah. Hey, we're gonna talk about the tournament later on the show, Mo. We'll touch up on it. I know everybody was hitting me up when y'all got that double against Los Broncos, bro. Make sure I had to get that in there. Shout out Eloy. I know he's watching. He called me the other day. Him and Albert.
Are you sure he's watching?
I know Albert was.
Oh,
Them
okay.
boys in the valley a trip, man.
Yeah, hey, we got to go down to the valley, man. I got
Boys.
a phone call. They want us to go down and do a show in the valley, but man, I don't know. We have to
Probably-
take care of it.
probably a
down
setup.
This is all
Nah,
I
it's
can say
not
about them, man.
Just kidding.
They try hard.
Ah.
I'm gonna leave it at that. They try hard.
How was the crowd? They're rowdy.
Their crowd is because they came into the Broncos came into the game thinking that they were gonna beat us, man. Come on, man. 5-2 is new, so
Yeah.
we got a bunch of new players, and we have some of the top players.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't feel like they were gonna beat us. You know what I'm saying? And we didn't feel that way either. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, those guys down there have some foolish confidence, if you ask me.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know?
So hey, let's go back, man. Texans, bro, we gotta talk about it because last week
yeah.
I went on here, man, and I said we're not even worrying about this game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was kind of worried when
But sometimes, man, like
you gotta have that game.
Look,
bro.
I was a football coach in high school for 10 years. Sometimes teams, man, for whatever reason, you'll have a funky letdown game. Now, this week coming, I'll tell you what kind of team they really have. You know, if they come back from that and play the way they're capable of, it shouldn't be a problem, man. We lost to the Falcons.
Now,
Yeah.
but let me ask you a question, Mo Better. Why is it that the Texans, they're always that team?
I mean, we
Oh.
lost to the Falcons.
Yeah,
See,
but-
the only you only
But nobody
look,
care about the Saints.
But look, because you're not a part of the Who Dat Nation. That's why you
That-
feel
yeah,
that way.
you're 100%
But what
correct.
you have to realize is people only know their own pain, man.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I'm saying?
right,
So
you're right.
you're a Texans fan. So you guys
No, I'm a Raider fan.
you're a Raider fan?
Yeah, no, please don't disrespect me like that.
That's even worse.
How?
That's even worse. The only thing worse than
The league
than
is
a
the way it
Raider
is right
fan
now is because of the
a
Raiders.
Cowboys fan.
Nah,
Hey,
Because
straight
they
up.
labor under delusions of grandeur. We have a whole generation of kids who grew up with the Cowboys being a perennial loser.
Okay, so
Yeah,
check
yeah.
this out. So I remember, okay, maybe you'll remember,
I remember.
when the Saints were the Aints, right? They didn't have an S.
Okay.
And people had on
Bags.
paper bags,
Yeah.
and they had what's Peyton Manning's dad's name? Archie Manning.
Archie Manning.
Terrible.
Yeah, I read some stuff about us riding in the back of the bus a long time ago too. But man, time
Terrible.
changes, man.
Man, okay. So
Don't
what's
you
gonna,
know
what's gonna happen when?
Pittsburgh Steelers lost for 46 straight years before they finally won a championship?
Okay, so what happens when Drew Brees retires? Y'all go back to being the Aints?
The same thing that happened when Peyton Manning retired. You know, players move on, man. It's up to you. We have an organization, man, with a good general manager. He's gonna get us a player in there. We're gonna draft. We're gonna get a good player.
Okay.
You know, that's
I think y'all go back to being the Aints. I'm calling it right now with the paper bags.
you talk like a fool with a wooden head, Steve.
Y'all gonna be the Aints again.
Never.
I'm
No,
telling you.
We have structure. See, teams are only as good as their front office structure.
Okay.
We have a front office structure. That's
Okay.
you know, we're gonna turn it over. If you look at our roster.
Oh no, I
Come on,
don't
okay,
disagree
we
with
talking
you.
NFL, right? Okay.
Yeah.
NFL, if you have a young quarterback that's
Mm-hmm.
not taking up a lot of your cap space, you have a chance to have good players around them. Okay? We have a great roster, and we have a quarterback. You got to remember, he was out with 5 or 6 games in a row. We didn't
Yeah.
lose a game when he was gone. We had Bridgewater quarterbacking. Why? Because our roster's good.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
the
agree
thing.
on
When
that.
we have a head coach, you guys. I mean, you're not a Texans fan,
No.
but you got Bill O'Brien, man. The dude is suspect.
Yeah.
I
You
like Bill
understand what I'm
O'Brien.
saying? Man, the dude,
I like Bill
the
O'Brien.
dude- Look, scared money don't make no money.
Yeah.
And
That's true.
That's who he is.
Yeah.
man.
That's true.
Scared
Hey,
money
I
don't
agree.
make no money, man.
That's true.
My coach will gamble. He will take chances. Okay, man, if I lose, man, I'm emptying out the gun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm scared.
So this is like the
scared.
new Aints. I still call them the Aints because when I was younger, like I said, y'all had old Earl Campbell out there.
Yeah.
Chuck Muncie, him and his ugly
Chuck
fa-
Muncie was
yeah.
before Earl Campbell.
Yeah, all them, man, all them old sorry Aints. I'm sorry, they were
No,
just
man,
terrible.
We had horrible coaching and a horrible.
Y'all had Bum Phillips.
No, but we had
Y'all had
John
Jim
Meekum,
Mora. Oh, yeah, John
Meekum
Meekum, yeah.
of Houston as our owner. That was the problem. You know, ownership, man,
Man.
structure.
Y'all gonna
Look,
be the Aints.
Like I just hope Deshaun has a healthy career where we can get another like
Y'all got
5, 8
y'all got a stud
years.
for a quarterback, man, and that's half the game right there.
Yeah.
But
Hey.
you gotta do other things around him, man. I just think
But how long you think Breeze is gonna play for? A couple more years?
maybe one more after this, and then we most probably we gonna draft Jalen Hurts at the end of the first round.
Oh,
This year,
man.
and then we gonna do some of that Lamar Jackson stuff. The game is changing. You know what I'm saying? That's just like I'm listening to ESPN this week, man. They talking about
Well,
Trevor,
but y'all-
Trevor Lawrence.
Okay,
'Cause
now-
Trevor Lawrence looked like the quarterback of the '80s and the '70s. 6'5" white guy with blonde hair and blue eyes. Oh, he's so quarterbacky.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
The game has changed, man.
Yeah, y'all going back to the Aints. I'm telling you.
That's
Hey,
what you said, man. Oh, we made look, man. If my man Joe Burrows wouldn't have blew up like that, we may have gotten him at the end of the first round. But now he's gonna be the first player drafted. So
man, you think so?
go Tigers.
Man, I did call Clemson yesterday, so I
Yeah.
can't
Go,
go.
Yeah.
go
This
Tigers.
guy-
can't go back.
You picked Clemson, what, winning the whole
Now,
thing?
you know-
Yeah, I called
Who
Clemson.
you got, Mo? College player.
Who do you? Come on.
LSU.
No, but-
LSU.
He
But
won't
in
be able.
championship game.
LSU.
He won't be able to go back to LA if he does
Hey,
that.
hey, but who you got on the other side, Clemson or Ohio State?
Man, I don't even care. Whoever, like my man, Baby Ogeron said, we play anybody, anywhere, anytime. We don't matter. It don't care.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
That boy guy.
That's what we had. What's funny, man, is, being where I'm from, I actually know him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
know one of his best friends. I talk to him a lot on the telephone, and you get to hear all these crazy stories, man. And then when I was coaching in high school, I had a cousin playing at LSU at the time when Saban was there. So I got a chance to hang out with Nick Saban and watch him on the practice field, and had some pretty bad meetings because my cousin used to get in trouble a lot. So I thought we were going to end up fighting Saban in his office one day. I'm just going to tell you, Saban is not a punk. He's a small guy, but he's not a punk. But he's the best football coach I ever witnessed in practice. The best football coach ever
Yeah.
I ever seen. And then, I got a chance. You know what's so funny? Gus Malzahn, because East St. John High School, we had Ryan Perilou at the time. He was like #1 recruit in the country and stuff. So, man, I got a chance to meet Lincoln Riley. He was an assistant at Tulsa at the time. Nice. So, we would come in, we were recruiting another quarterback we had named Kalen Henderson, who actually played for Tulsa. I got a chance to meet Malzahn when Malzahn was at Arkansas, and then he finally went to Auburn as the offensive coordinator when Gene Chizik was the coach. Yeah. Man, I got a chance to, sit down and talk to a bunch of those guys, man.
So let me ask you a question. I think Ryan Perilou made a huge mistake not going to Texas.
I can agree with that.
Am I wrong or wrong?
Because you got to think about this. Now, I know Ryan Perilou personally. I coached him since he was, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old. My wife is related to them, their family and stuff like that. She's a Perilou also. Her mom's a Perilou. Mm-hmm. Perillou's a big family. So Ryan was the most talented high school football player I've ever put my eyes on. But he was a little undisciplined in the other parts of his life. You know what I'm saying? So him staying that close to home hurted him. Okay. If he would have went to UT, now would it be in hindsight, he would have been the quarterback there after Vince Young left.
Right.
And I think he may have possibly made the pros, which he did have a little cup of coffee with the New York Giants.
Because then that kicks off Colt McCoy. Yeah. And all the
everything, dominoes would have changed, and
exactly.
Texas may have stayed on top because when I tell you, man, that dude was
dog,
good. Man, he was a dog. So I wish he would have went to UT looking back now because it would have got him away from home. And
that always intrigued me, Mo, because I was like, I mean, dude, just go to Texas. I mean, you were going to run the same offense.
You
were going to, and then he decommitted, then went to LSU. So I don't know.
Man, let me tell you how good this guy was. Because I was coaching at the time, and we could get holding penalties, consecutive holding penalties in a row, and it could be 1st and 40. Mm-hmm. You still were going to score. You were going to score a touchdown.
Yeah, this dude was that good.
Crazy, man.
It was good.
Yeah, he was good, man. He was good.
Look at my boy Ram. He says, Alex was playing with Nitro, not the Broncos, just to let you know.
Los Broncos, bro. Well, yeah, they switched teams down there, man. They got kind of.
What do you think's going on? How you feel?
They go from team to team, and we're gonna come up, we're gonna play with this team, then we're gonna go back, we're gonna come back with the next team.
I wonder how that works, man.
Man, I don't care.
Yeah, it's a fall. That's how it can work.
You think? Okay.
Yeah. Well, they have to, because if they would just be two separate organizations, they'd come up here and get their nose bloodied every time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So they have to find a way to get 2 or 3 of the players from the other team to actually be competitive, man. Yeah. Because I can't remember. I think the Broncos, when I was with American Force, the Broncos beat us, I think maybe 5-4 one time in the game over at West Little York. And the other time we played them, man, I think we lopped their head off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they're competitive, but one of the issues that I think they have when I look back at it is they're not very athletic. Mm. So they pretty much have to play station to station. You know what I'm saying? They got a bunch of kids that look the same way. So they all corner players. They got to either on first base or third base or maybe in right field. And as you get older, people don't realize right field is a defensive position.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have a guy that can run and has a strong arm because he has to make the longest throws.
Yeah.
For instance, that's why Barry Bonds didn't play center field or right field. I was just talking about that on Facebook.
Yeah, you were.
I was like, is Barry Bonds my favorite player, Barry Bonds, okay? Mm-hmm. All-time best baseball player I ever put my own eyes on. He could not play center field or right field because he had a below-average throwing arm. You know what I'm saying? But because he could swing the stick like nobody's business, he was a 10-tool player.
Yeah. And he couldn't throw out a limping Sid Bream.
Remember that Sid Bream?
Sid Bream was actually in a wheelchair, on crutches, probably on a walker. You know what we're talking about?
I don't know. That's in the 80s, 90s?
No, that's the 90s. That's the 90s.
See,
terrible throw from left field. Terrible throw.
But he couldn't throw. So
no, exactly.
And when I tell you Sid Bream could not run,
it was like if you get on your knees, run to second base, you still could throw him out.
Couldn't throw him out.
That's how bad it was.
Because I grew up watching Barry Bonds late 90s, early 2000s as I was growing up. But to me, when I think Barry Bonds, I think power. One of the best swings in the game ever.
Man, look, he got 2 pitches a week when he was going for 2 pitches a week. He hit it out of the park.
Both of them out.
The rest of the time they walked him.
That's crazy.
That's unfreaking believable. You know, when we talk 5'2" players, man, that's always what everybody's talking about. It's not really. When you look back through history, there really hadn't been that many 5'2" baseball players. No. You're talking about Griffey. You're talking about Mickey Mantle most probably was the first ever 5'2" player. You know, you know, it just wasn't a lot of guys, man, that could. You know, Willie Mays was the 5'2" guy. You know,
I really didn't like Ken Griffey
What?
senior or junior.
Jr.
What?
I like him
That guy was like the GOAT to us growing up.
until
Because he was on all the video games, like Kobe too.
until he
Ken
went to
Griffey,
Cincinnati and stopped. Did he stop working? You wouldn't know. Did he stop working in Cincinnati? Because he always got hurt.
He got injured all the time.
Okay, so either he
But-
did play with A-Rod.
But
so.
this is what I think about him. He was such a naturally gifted baseball player. No, he wasn't. He didn't have the same kind of definition, muscle tone.
Don't matter.
He stayed the same. He said
Yeah.
the same size.
Don't matter.
And when he came up, he could hit the ball straight away center field out the yard.
And then he went to Cincinnati and got fat.
It wasn't working out. It couldn't have been the roids. But I
Something
think
happened.
he came up, you know, right in between that lifting weights and the steroid era, and he was one of those guys to me who didn't look like he worked on his body because baseball was so easy to him. And baseball is a very difficult game for everybody that plays it, especially at that level, but it was so easy to him. I can remember reading the article when they were saying, hey, look, the scouting report for this weekend series. He said, man, what are you guys talking about? See ball, hit ball.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
that
for
was
sure.
he didn't read any of that stuff, man. He just could swing the baseball bat.
People should go back to that.
See ball, hit ball. Mm-hmm. That's the approach I have with my kids.
There's too much of this and that. And, no.
Yeah, launch
I'm
angles
being-
and all
yeah.
that stuff, man.
Just
All that
see
stuff
the
is
ball, hit
crazy
the
to me.
ball.
See the ball, hit
Man,
the
when I
ball.
try to give you one of those bracelets, you were like, I don't want that shit.
But
I got about 12 of them at
But
home.
this is what I
I gave 'em out.
feel like about hitting a baseball. Very difficult to do, right? To me, it's just like running fast. Everybody can't run fast. Everybody can hit a baseball. Now you got some guys who can work and you can get better at that. But the real good hitters in baseball, man, they were born that way. I don't care what anybody says. It is hard as hell. You can work all you want to. How many guys you played with and they could just show up to the ballpark and don't do anything and go 3 for 4 today? Why?
Unreal.
Because they could just hit.
Yeah.
You know, it's a special skill, man.
And I'm with you, Matthew Murphy. When he was a Pirate, when he was a leadoff hitter and skinny, man, he was good.
You remember him back at Arizona State at the College World Series?
Yep. I remember when Deion Sanders
Oh, at Florida State?
at Florida State, when he was in the College World Series, too, he got picked. The first time I saw Deion Sanders, he got picked off at first base. I think they were playing Miami.
The first College World Series I can remember is Roger Clemens, UT. Cliff Gustafson.
Yeah.
Man, that guy, Roger Clemens, was another guy who I think they need to throw all that
What about
steroid-
Mike Trout? Is he 5'2" player?
He's 5'2".
Man, Mike Trout.
To me, he may be the only 5'2" player in the game right now.
That dude's good.
Because I think Bryce Harper, he's okay.
Yeah.
I don't think he is as good an offensive player as Trout. I don't think he's as good an offensive player as Rendon.
Whew.
Rendon can
It's
swing
supposed
it.
to- Yeah, I know, man.
He can swing it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. He's more hype. You know, you got those people the media love, and that's what Bryce Harper is. You know, he didn't go to high school. He left in 10th or 11th grade, went to JUCO, and he played baseball with 100 travel ball teams. You know,
Yeah.
it turns into folklore, and all of a sudden he's Tarzan or somebody.
Yeah. well, he was supposed to be like the biggest thing coming out.
It's sliced bread, man.
Hey, Judy, well, let's get into the results of last week
Okay, let's get on there, man.
because the season's is winding down. Is there any tournaments this weekend?
It's winding
There
down,
is.
and
It's
it'll be
like
winding
the-
up pretty quickly too.
Oh yeah.
Hold
Yeah.
on, here we go. All right, we're gonna go straight into. Let's start at the beginning.
What was the name of the tournament?
The
Under
tournament-
Armour.
Under Armour.
Under Armour
Under
300?
Armour 300.
300.
So
Oh, listen. So I've been taking a lot of stuff for this. So 2 weeks ago, Marucci Elite Texas Nava won a tournament. We forgot to. Nick Saban told me, "Hey man," Nick Saban told me, "Man, you didn't say that we won." And I remember I was gonna say it, and I totally forgot. Yeah. So now I'm saying it. Nick
Shout
Saban.
out to Nick Saban.
Yeah, I was with him
All right.
today. He looked
So
good. He
look
was
right
all
here with the
dressed up.
results. 7U AA Legends. The 7U Legends won.
Hold
11-0.
on, what legends? Pasadena?
Legends, yeah.
Oh my God!
So,
There's gonna be a parade down Burt.
That's Coach Moses.
Red
Coach Moses
Bluff.
out there. Coach Moses out there. Shout out
Good
to the
job.
boys.
They beat Deer Park
Um,
Spikes. Good
yeah.
job, legends.
They're out there grinding.
The
Let's
lab-
go.
ooh, good job.
8U AA. Team Elite Mizuno with the win against the Houston Royals Blue.
Oh,
3.
good job, Elite Mizuno.
9U AA. All right, we'll go gold and then silver bracket. Give some love to both of them. The gold bracket, 9U AA.
Who's that? Toros.
Toros de Houston.
Nice. They beat Dynasty Baseball.
You know
North
them,
Shore.
or-
Nah, I don't know.
That's a
I know
badass-
Dynasty North Shore though.
That's a badass name, Toros.
Yep.
All right, Crush City Stros winning the silver bracket.
Okay, so does that get them to bid to the silver bracket elite?
No, because it's not an NIT.
Not
Oh,
NIT.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
I'm trying. I'm trying.
9U Open. Houston Brewers with the dub.
Shout out Ray Ramirez.
All right.
Who'd they
so,
beat? Who'd they beat? They beat Texas Mizuno.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Ray.
All right, this is where we're gonna get the meat of the content. Here we go. 10U AA. We have Team Houston 7-4 against Houston Hurricanes.
Nice
Very
job, Team Houston.
All right, here we go, Mo. We're gonna break it down.
Break it down.
10U AA, where you guys were playing, right?
Open.
Oh, we're not playing
man.
open.
We don't play double A, man.
Oh, my bad. Open. All right. So how'd it go? You guys played at 3 p.m. Cruise baseball.
Yeah, Cruise baseball.
How'd that game go, man?
We won. First of all, this was our first weekend playing together. You know what I'm saying? And then we had one player who's a vital part of the team couldn't play because he was injured. So we won that game.
Then y'all had that matchup against Broncos, bro.
No, somebody beat us, man. We lost the game.
Yeah, but y'all lost in the
Yeah, in
the ship, right?
No, we lost
No?
in pool play.
Oh, dang.
We lost the game in pool play.
Let's see. I went straight to the bracket.
No, don't overlook it, man. We lost the game in pool play. But like I said, Saturdays doesn't mean anything when you have a really good team.
Test baseball.
Test baseball.
How'd they look, man?
I had a couple of players that could play, but not to, downgrade anything anybody's doing, man. I don't want to talk about kids in a negative way, but they're, they need some work. But we didn't. But they beat us, and we're supposed to be a championship caliber team when the spring rolls around. So.
Yeah.
But anybody can beat you on any given day. I mean, they had
Any
a kid,
given day.
They had a left-handed kid that could really swing the bat, man. I was really impressed by that kid. We had a left hand on the mound. He was throwing the ball. Cesarski, Brady, the kid you was telling,
Yeah.
he can really throw the ball, man. That kid must have fouled off about 5 or 6 pitches and then lined that thing up the middle, man. He looked like he knew what he was doing at the plate.
No, go back real quick.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay, so I'm confused here. Okay, so Broncos, Garza, and Nitro. So Ram played for Nitro, right? So he's not with the Broncos anymore?
I don't know. Well, look. This
No, the guy told me that whoever owned Nitro is a millionaire, billionaire, and
Aren't
the
we
guy
all?
the guy has a 4-game contract with him or some kind of stuff, man.
What?
And those kids are gonna play with him
Damn,
for
contracts?
4 games, and then they're gonna go back to the Broncos and and
Hey, talking about this contract. If you're listening, talk to us, man. If there's a contract,
Is that true?
Is
I mean,
it true?
I don't know. I'm just telling you
Yeah,
what the
that's
guy
what you
told
heard.
me. I mean,
Hey,
that's-
there's a lot
I
of
don't-
shit,
I
man.
don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. But them guys in the valley, man, they always got them shenanigans going on.
and in Houston too.
But I like when they come up because they're competitive, man.
Yeah,
you
they're
want to play.
competitive.
You want to play good teams.
Yeah.
And then the guy that coaches the Broncos, he's worth the price of admission, but he was coaching for Nitro. He talks the whole game between Spanish and English, the whole game, man. And he seems like he know what he's talking about. Just listening to him.
Nice.
Because I'm a baseball head myself, so when I hear him telling the kids, about let the ball get deep, you know what I'm saying, how they taking a swing or whatever, and a lot of times, what I tell my son right now is, man, when you 0-0, 2-0, 3-1, if you swing and miss, you better fall down. You should not be taking a check swing, a half swing, or reaching for a pitch when you up in the count. See, kids don't
Yeah.
understand how to
They're in the
hit in
hitter's
the
count.
count. You're in the
Yeah.
hitter's count.
Got to be in the hitter's
Yeah,
count.
first pitch curveball at this age, man, I'm spitting on that. I'm not swinging at that. Show me you can throw that for a strike.
Yeah, sure.
Then I'll worry about it.
You see the opposite
Man, I'm
when
setting
you're at
dead
Baseball
red.
USA. Exactly.
Man, I'm setting dead red.
Exactly.
So
If kids learn the hitters counts, man, they'd raise up their batting average.
well, that's the 6-2, the mental part of the
Yeah.
game. You have to learn how to hit in the count, man.
Look at Miss Beth. What in the baseball hell you need a contract for? I don't know. We're about to find. Oh man, that's fucking awful funny. All right,
No, but the guy pays for their travel and all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's a nice thing to have a benefactor like that. That's like the Swamp Donkeys. The Swamp Donkeys, the guy who kid plays on that team is a millionaire. The parent told me they don't pay for jack.
what?
When they went to the World Series last year, we were there. He paid for all the parents' room, all their travel, everything.
That's team you need.
But the guy's a billionaire. They fly around. He's got a jet and everything, man. So I mean, if you got it, hey.
Hey, Steve got a jet. You want to sponsor? You want to
I
sponsor
don't
a team?
sponsor nobody. It's a lost leader. Nope. Hey, just like I asked Mo earlier, how many billionaire friends you have?
No.
Right, you need to have some. At least 1 or 2, 3.
Hey man, so
All right, go 2. So where we at now?
I might mess that relationship up.
Hey man, so y'all beat Broncos 7-2. Mm-hmm. Then win in the ship against Texas Nitro. Mm-hmm. Dropped that right there.
We dropped that one. Like
What
I
was
said,
it, 10-9?
No.
I guess
We
10-3.
were up.
Okay.
We were up 2-0, and then they came back and we made about 4 or 5 errors. And at first, I mean, the first 2 hitters that came up for them kind of looked. They were kind of dejected because they weren't expecting that, right? So, you know, we were up. Then we started making errors, man. And once we started making errors, they started cracking the baseball.
Yeah.
But if you take the errors out of the game, you know. But that's all a part of the game.
Yeah.
You know, you have a really good ball team. But they had a kid playing first base, man, that normally plays for the Broncos. He can straight rake. The kid can rake, and he's a left-handed kid who lets the ball get deep, and he hits the ball the other way. You know.
Could that be Alex?
I don't know.
Probably
He's a
Alex.
kind of chubby kid with a big old head.
Yeah.
He can
Rams son. That dude, that little kid's been hitting since he was
Man,
like
that
4.
That kid could rake it,
Yeah.
man. And then they had another kid, another big kid, you know. And I got a question for you guys, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't like to get ethnic, but sometimes I do.
Yeah,
You know
go
what I'm saying?
go ahead.
Because why are the Hispanic Houstons are short, and the Hispanics in the Valley are huge, man?
We don't
Look,
know. we asked the same questions.
we asked the same question.
Yeah, you're right.
I think I know the answer to that.
What?
Damn refineries.
Okay, it's in
Oh,
the air.
man.
I think it's the air, man.
Nah.
Honest, yeah.
Man,
that
those
will
kids
affect.
are tall.
But I agree. They're freaking tall.
They're
like my
tall.
cousins in Mexico, they're like, I'm telling you, they're like 6 foot, 6'1". I'm like, dude, what the?
You
what
just
do y'all
lost the
eat?
genetic lottery. That's it. I mean, that's
Man,
You know,
it's crazy, man. Those kids are
yeah, they are.
I mean, I'm standing at a massive 5'7". You know what I mean?
they're not very fast, and they're not very.
Now I'm 1 inch above you, Junior. On that.
They don't have a lot of fast kids down there, but man, they're
Yeah.
huge
they're
kids, man. They're
a massive 5'7".
it was a
Those
joke.
kids.
Everybody's supposed
Oh,
to laugh at that.
But they had the kid. What's the kid on the mound? He normally pitches for the Broncos, but he was pitching for Nitro this weekend.
Lucas.
Aaron something.
Aaron. Oh, Castillo.
Yeah. Other than the kid from MVP Hustle,
Yeah.
that was the hardest throwing kid I've seen at that age group. He was bringing it, but we put the bat on him. But you know he had a pretty good breaking ball too. I mean, he had a hard kind of slurve kind of pitch, you know. And kid was kid could deal.
Damn.
You know, now if we with hindsight being 2020, because we didn't know if we could have matched up, Franshaw or Brady against that kid,
The two lefties, huh?
Yeah, but we learned in our team too at the same time.
Who'd y'all throw that game?
Poppy.
Oh, okay.
Poppy
Poppy.
started, and Poppy's the contact guy, and Poppy will keep you off balance, but you have to play defense behind Poppy.
Yeah.
And they hit him hard a couple of times, but we got him in trouble because we kept making errors and getting runners on base. All it takes is a guy come and hit something good to the gap.
Right.
2 runs a score. So.
Yeah. So where we at now? 11 you? 12 you?
10 open silver bracket Deer Park Spikes
Oh, good
with
job,
the 7-6.
Deer
So
Park Spikes.
Let's
Nice.
go 11 double A. Gold. Here we go. 4-band Bombers red.
Nice. Shout out Fort Bend. About time. They beat DS Baseball. Good job, Fort Bend.
And then 5-tool 11U beat Houston Forest Baseball.
Okay.
Man, who's that?
You can keep on going, man.
No, I'm trying to scroll up.
Hey, Beth says it's because of the tamales.
And they're going to be eating them starting next week.
Yes.
Yeah.
For the
All right.
next 3 weeks. The Mexicans getting fatter.
11 open. The Unit Black won the gold bracket.
Okay. Good job, Unit Black.
And in the silver bracket,
Units from Richmond, I think, for Fort Bend.
Medina Warriors.
Nice.
8-0.
Is that the guy I'm trying to help out?
Yeah, man.
Good job.
He's still looking for players, though.
What did he win? Is that the silver
Yeah,
bracket?
he won the silver bracket.
Okay, he goes to LaPorte.
And it's hard to find players, man.
Yeah. 12 double A, silver bracket. Real quick. Adidas Baseball Katie.
Nice.
Bailey.
Good job, Adidas.
12U double A, gold. Team Houston.
Congrats, Team Houston.
12 open. Hold on. 12 open.
Man, if I didn't know any better, Julio, I think that we still have issues with the internet.
I think so.
Maybe they didn't fix it.
12 open. American Force 8-4.
Yeah, they did. They beat my boy Oscar. Good job, American
Texas
Force.
Hooks.
Yeah, they beat Oscar in the
What are they?
Hooks.
12 open.
Oh, okay. That's Tino.
Texas Bandits 7-4. Oh yeah, that's right. That is Tino.
Yep. They were down.
13 AA Sultanes. They gotta be.
Are they from
Monterrey.
Mexico?
I don't know. They gotta be from like
They,
Monterrey.
check out the roster. You checking out the roster,
Yeah,
Sultanes?
yeah. Okay, Houston.
They're from Houston?
They're from Houston.
Wow.
Uh,
You think they got all Mexicans?
Oh yeah.
Oh
Let's
yeah.
see.
Got
they're-
Medina on there.
Yeah,
oh,
they got a
that's a
Medina.
good player. Oh, they got an Olsen. How
Olsen.
did he get there?
Man, I don't know.
I just played.
they're gonna call you and be like, "Come on, man."
Yeah, man, the Sultanes. That's what Monterey, right?
Yeah,
so
Monterey.
Okay.
Yeah.
13 open, Houston Crush baseball, and then in the silver bracket.
Ram said there's no contract.
Oh,
He just
No
texted me right
contract.
now.
Let's say agreement.
oh.
Is it an
Agreement.
agreement then,
An
Ram?
agreement.
Ram has to call in and
verbal
explain how that works over there in the valley.
Man, that's just valid. That's just totally
I
different.
know
over
they
there,
said that guy is funky rich. I know that he's got plenty of money.
14 open, Team Houston.
Mucho.
Man, Team Houston, man, they
And
did
then-
well this past
yeah.
weekend.
14 open, silver bracket. Last one, Kingwood Nationals.
Who? Oh, Kingwood Nationals.
that
Nice.
was
They beat the
everybody
Cypress
from-
Crusaders.
Yes, sir. That's
Good job.
That's everybody.
So
from-
what do we? Is there one this weekend?
There is one this weekend, but there's like 40 teams in there.
Check it out real quick,
It
because
is,
it's obviously
80
important.
83 teams, 400 point USSSA Global State Toy Drop.
Oh,
tournament.
is that the one where you got to bring a toy or pay $10 to get in? I saw
Yeah.
the post the other day.
Damn.
Man, shoot.
And pay $460.
Yeah.
And
But-
$5 a
By
bar.
time they give something back, right? Whoa, I don't want.
Man,
Yeah.
but just like you said, if you get there after 3:00, you don't have to pay to park, right? You think they changed that?
Wear the black cap. If you want.
Wear the black cap.
Probably. They probably changed it.
That's why I like playing in Baseball USA because I'm a veteran. They let us in free.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah,
Nice,
show
good.
your
Yeah,
VA
we didn't know
card,
that.
Show my VA card and just drive through.
Oh, that's
good.
nice.
That's good.
Yeah, y'all deserve that.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Mo, what'd you think about that X Factor team? We played them on Saturday.
You guys did
No, 5-2 played X Factor. Somebody in the comments writing. What do you think?
X Factor. I'm
I
trying to.
don't think they. Maybe that's the 11U.
Yeah, that's gotta be.
Yeah.
Matthew, is that the 11U or the
Yeah.
10U?
Yeah.
Because we didn't play any X Factor.
Ask
team.
him FTP game against X Factor. It was a 9-4 game, but the score did not reflect how close the game really was.
That's got to be 11.
It's probably the 11U.
Better with Mo in the
10U.
stands.
Oh, he said 10.
That says
10
10U.
you. Man, I'll go back.
Yeah, go back and look.
X Factor.
I don't think they. I don't know.
What time did we
Let's
play
check it
them?
out?
Oh yeah, that's the team. That might have been the first team we played that.
Yeah, that was. I was there for the start of the game. I was talking to you and Eloy.
See, normally if somebody stands out to me, man, I can remember that. So I'm trying to remember that game.
Let's see.
Oh, I got there late for that game because the Saints were on. So I was actually watching the Saints in Frisco at the time, and I came up late.
Let's see.
'Cause when
Oh
the-
yeah, look,
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
played them on
X Factor.
Saturday.
Yeah, 9-4.
on
So you
Saturday.
think Matthew Murphy's with the X Factor?
Yeah,
Yeah, he says. Yeah, he
was.
says
Oh,
it's
is he?
the X
Okay,
Factor.
okay.
Cool.
Nice.
No, X Factor. That was the team in gray, the first team we played, right?
Yeah.
What they had was they had some good looking athletes, but they need a little bit more. I think they just started playing. You know, what you're not gonna do is walk to the ballpark at 10 and have a bunch of kids who are good athletes and just started playing, and the other kids been playing since 6. Even though you may have better athletes, they're gonna be better baseball players. But what they do have is a bunch of good looking kids that if they keep playing, they can be a factor once they get a couple of years in.
Yeah. They all seem to come together around 14 years old.
Yeah,
Junior.
and that's what I tell everybody. You don't know what type of baseball player you're going to have until your kid go through puberty and he hits about 14 or 15.
Yep.
And you start playing 60, 90. That's when you really find out if you have
Yeah.
a baseball player or not.
Oh,
Anything before that, man, we just guessing and we hoping, ooh, my kid look good. You know?
As always.
Yeah, you move
Hey.
up to 60, 90, you find out.
If somebody tried going into Baseball USA with the black ump cap, record a video, send it to me. I want to see.
Bet says, did she get in?
She's
Oh, I'm getting in free. Oh, okay. Okay.
that is so
Baseball,
funny.
yes.
That
Now,
is
the
funny.
one thing I can say, Sunday's game at Baseball USA had a really good umpire. You know, because, sometime you go, like we playing
Yeah.
Saturday, you got a guy, His strike zone is from the bill of the cap to the shoe top, a foot off the plate to the outside, and a foot off the plate to the inside. So, I mean, what could the hitter do? I mean, you take the bat out of the guy's hand. So if you're going to give a guy one side of the plate, you got to let the hitter have the other side. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't give the pitcher both sides of the plate because you don't have a chance.
So good umpires the whole day, or just that one particular one?
That guy there, guy who called the game the games we played, he was pretty consistent in the strike zone. And, I mean, that's all you want, man. And you don't want the guy calling the ball a foot outside. The kids can't hit that.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you need a 2x4 to reach the pitch. Yeah. And I can see you giving him, 3 inches off, 3 maybe 4 inches off the outside. Kid got to be able to reach over and go get that. You know what I'm saying? But when it's in the other batter's box, you can't hit that. Mm-hmm. And that's what I hate.
Since we're talking about umpires, I got this message from Larry House earlier today. He wants me to let everybody know that Mid-Tex Umpires Association is looking to add umpires in the Central Texas and DFW area. We cover a ton of youth ball. Looking to expand the roster. If not, looking to expand the roster. So if you can and you want to do some umpiring, please contact Larry House on Facebook, LARRYHOWSE, Larry House. Get in touch with him for umpire needs. Hey, there's a demand for umpires now.
Yeah.
There's a demand.
Sure. For good ones.
Select baseball starting. Select baseball, man, it's just blowing up.
Yeah.
So you don't have enough umpires for all the games that are going on.
Yeah.
Well,
it doesn't help when Larry comes on and tells everybody to go to softball. Drunk on the last episode.
I saw he was doing clinics out there.
Right. Umpiring would be easy if the guy just had a consistent strike zone. Yeah. But the problem comes in play, man, when their strike zone is all over the place, man. That's the thing that make it difficult for everybody because, you even got, people come over from Little League and anything over the plate is a strike in Little League. So when they come over and start playing select baseball, the ball can be at your shoe tops, but if it's over the plate, they think it's a strike.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen some stuff.
Hey, Mo, I haven't talked about it on the show yet, but I think it's appropriate that since you're here, we can address it because I've had people ask me, and I'm sure people have asked you. So what happened with American Force, man? I left right after the World Series. I saw the ship sinking, and I said, man, I'm out.
But hold on. Was the ship actually sinking or?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Mo knows it. What happened, Mo?
Okay, let's do this, man.
Let's do it. Let's clear the air.
Hey, before you do that, shout out Baltimore.
I want everybody to understand this. Ruben and Brandon Ramirez, they are two of the best people I've met since I've been here. Quality people. They would give you the shirt off their backs. There's no two ways about it. I look at them as friends. Now, I don't know how they feel, since, I decided to leave. I was with American Force for 4 years, okay? So at the age of 6, we actually went to the World Series as a 6-year-old team and won it in Dallas, okay? Then we came back as a 7-year-old team. We went to Alabama Gulf Shores, and we finished in the top 3 or 4 teams. We lost attraction, and the team Fusion, the Fusion team out of Florida, Pace, Florida. And 8U, we decided to play up. We didn't play 8U coach pitch. We played kid pitch. Okay, so we did pretty well. We ended up going to the World Series. The 9U World Series opened in Sulphur. And we did okay. You guys beat us. I think your team.
It was in that bracket.
Yeah,
it was our older team, but Jalen played that weekend with them.
They beat us in that, So, I had a great experience with American Force. We had a split like 2 years ago when Coach James and his side kind of left, and then Ruben pretty much built it back. We pick up Zimmer Hanzo and a couple other players, and we kept rolling on, man. We were always, to me, we were the best team in Houston in the Open, in the 9 and 10s. The 9s, the whole time we were here. But I can't speak for the other people, but for me, I was pretty much like, it's just time to do something different. You know what I'm saying? Because my kid, after Ruben and my kid were together so long, it was almost like me and my kid. You know how your kids tune you out?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Ruben, to me, had loved my son so much that it was almost like a, dad-son kind of relationship. The same way he treated Kalen, the same way he treated Yachty. You know what I'm saying? The dude loved my kid.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I was like, it's time to do something different because, Kalen tunes him out, Kalen tunes me out. You know how Kalen is. So let's look around, let's do something different. And, we just decided, hey, it was time to do something different. It wasn't any knock on anybody, or anything. And when we made the decision as a family, it had nothing to do with anybody else.
Yeah.
It was just something that we decided to do. Hey, let's move on. And I researched and I look, I used to talk to Brian Franshaw all the time. And he said, man, well, why don't you just come over with us? Because, half the 5-2 kids left and went to strike zone. The one thing about select baseball, nobody's ever happy where they're at. Nobody's happy, man. I don't know. Only thing I can do is look at a guy credentials and see where he's been and what he's done. And then that still don't tell me what type of coach he's going to be, but at least it'll open. It's just like turning your resume into a company.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your resume will get you in the door, but it's up to you doing the interview process to sell the people on, what you could do. So when I looked up Carlos, and I'm like, which I already knew, Carlos was a freshman All-American at UT,
Mm-hmm.
transferred to Texas A&M, played in the Marlins organization.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was like, well, okay, let's do this. So I told everybody, hey, I was leaving. And going to 5-tool, and Eloy said, "Hey man, I wanted to play with Kalen," and Brent said, "I wanted Braxton to play with Kalen," and Juniors was the same way. So we all left. Of course, if I put myself in Ruben's shoes, being that it was his team, and he had a great team, he had a great organization, and then when players leave, it's disappointing. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like. Think about it, man. You guys all had girlfriends before, man, and she left you or whatever for whatever reason. And now, that's no easy way to break somebody's heart, like the song say. You know what I'm saying? So, I think our relationship is kind of tough right now. We hadn't spoken since then. After I told him I was leaving, I know there was going to be some acrimony there, and I understand it. But man, I love the dude to death.
Yeah.
I don't have anything but good things to say about him and his family. But just for me, it was time for me to move on. I needed something different because you played with us, man. Kalen is, and it's hard for me to talk about my own kid, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you try to be modest and you thank God for whatever gifts you get athletically, man. You can't take any credit for that, man. If you get a kid that's really talented, that was God. Mm-hmm. Now, what you do with it is my kid happens to be a really good athlete at the age of 10. Not 15, not 12, not 20, I don't know. But at 10 years old, he's a really good athlete, and he makes everything look easy that he does. So I need to put him in a situation where he needs to work. He needs to work. He doesn't understand how to work because he'll tell you right now, if you ask him, man, hitting a baseball is hard. No, it's not. He'll argue with you that hitting a baseball is not hard. Yeah. Dude, you can hit a baseball like you can. Everybody can't do that. That's hard. You know what I'm saying? So now, like just the practice, they have a kid over there named Noah Franshaw. Mm-hmm. Franshaw's a stud. Yeah. And now when my kid go there, Franshaw works his butt off. So now it makes him work his butt off. So now we may be able to get more out of him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's one of the reasons why I decided, hey, it's time to move on. But man, let me tell you something. Man, we had a great thing going. Yeah. We had a great group of kids that could really play baseball. You were with us, yeah. And man, we would fight traction canes to the death, until you and Ruben burn up them runs on base, and then we got to.
Hey, so let me ask you a question, Mo. So when you made the decision to leave, mm-hmm. How did you do it? Did you text them? Did you call them?
Oh,
did you email them?
I'm a man, bro.
Yeah, but you know how it goes now. Now it's just
a text.
A text.
No, man. Hey, man, I'm 54, I'm old school. Phones didn't come in until I was like in the 90s.
I understand,
man,
but you know how it goes now, right?
But look, so
it's always a text, or I'm gonna tell Junior, and Junior tell Ruben.
This is what I don't understand. I don't know how this got out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I was contemplating leaving, it was after we played in Dallas in the Super NIT. On our way home, I called Brent and said, man, I'm thinking about leaving. And, Brent said, man, let me know what you're doing. Same thing with Eloy. And before I got back, man, people would call me and ask me about it. And, I'm like, man, how do people know? How do people know this? You know what I'm saying? So Saturday came about. Well, I told everybody, look, man, let's just meet, have breakfast Saturday here in Pearland, because we all live in Pearland. And I said, let's just meet and we talk about it. And, I'm telling you guys what I'm going to do. You guys decide what you want to do. And then after the meeting, I went home and I was like, well, look, I talked to my wife. I said, well, look, I'm ready to move on, because she was to the meeting also. I said, well, I'm going to give Ruben a call. You know what I'm saying? So, I gave Ruben a call, and he was saying he had been hearing this all over the place. I said, well, man, I don't know how anybody can tell you what I'm thinking because I just made the decision, earlier in the week, and I hadn't spoken to anyone about it, So I called him up, and he and I talked, and of course, he didn't like it too much, and I understand his position,
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying, because his son is on the team, so if the team is falling apart, he needs somewhere for his son to play baseball also.
Yeah.
So, he and I spoke, and then I told him, man, I was leaving, and he said what he had to say, and. Man, I'm a man. Look, I'm 54 years old, man. It ain't that serious, man. It's 10-year-old baseball. This is not life and death, man.
Yeah, but some people be taking it serious though.
Not me, man.
You
Think
take it
about it.
serious.
I tell everybody, man, playing baseball really good at 10 years old don't mean jack.
No,
It don't mean jack. The guy was just telling me Pearland had a team that went to the World Series, the Little League World Series. Those kids are like juniors and seniors now. And maybe only 2 or 3 of them still play baseball.
Yeah, we covered that.
Yeah, we did. We
Yeah.
talked about it the other day.
Man,
That's crazy.
when I was growing up, man, there was always this big kid who just beat everybody and everything. All of a sudden, everybody get 14 to 50, and that kid's still the same size. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah, no, it happens a lot.
We overrate these kids. And another thing, you guys, I'm telling you right now, my kid worked the least out of any of these kids that play upper level baseball. We don't take 100 swings a day. We don't go to the cage every week. We don't take lessons. We don't do any of that stuff. And it's intentional on my part. And the reason I kind of feel like, man, that's overkill. You know what I'm saying? And then your kids can't, it's just like, okay, think about this. How can I teach you algebra before you learn arithmetic? Okay, so if we going all the time at 10, they're not teaching kids algebra at 10 years old. They're not teaching kids calculus at 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So because they can't consume it because their minds are not there yet. They hadn't developed enough. So all of this stuff, and everybody talk about muscle memory, and stuff like that. Man, your body gonna change.
Yeah, I agree. But so let me ask you a question. So at some point in time, do you think him not working out that much, we'll just say not that much, you think it'll ever catch up to him?
No, because as we get older, we'll do more.
Okay.
And then another thing is he plays football.
Okay.
And the reason why he plays football is because, think about this, man. Barry Bonds played football and basketball in high school. Ken Griffey played football and basketball in high school. Deion Sanders, all your great athletes played multiple sports. You look at those guys, those pitchers in baseball, I guarantee you those 6'7", 6'8" dudes, they played basketball. You do different things, you develop other muscle groups, and you just want to have fun sometimes.
Yeah.
I think what we're doing with baseball now, we're playing so much and we're working the kids so hard, we take the fun out of the game. It becomes a job.
The fun's been taken out for a while now. No,
Yeah,
I totally agree with you because, I see on Facebook and I see when I'm talking to people about, oh, man, we're working. And at some point in time, you need a rest.
Man, let me tell you something, man. You're overworking because this is what I'm a firm believer of this, man. Either a kid can hit or he can't hit. I don't care what anybody say. How many kids I see with the perfect swing and they swing through the pitch? Why? Because hand-eye coordination. You know what I'm saying? Give them a little time. Not to say that they won't be able to hit. Just because you can hit at 10, that don't mean you'll be able to hit at 15.
Yeah.
Just because you can't hit at 10, that don't mean you won't be able to hit at 15. You just got to, you got to develop the way you develop. Your body has to grow into whatever you got to go through puberty. You got to get some peach fuzz on some things.
And
I firmly agree.
Me and Junior had this conversation yesterday. We were just talking about teams. Everybody's in a rush in the Houston area to play on the best team. Got a question right now. Who's the best 10-year-old team right now? And Matthew Murphy said we won't know until the spring, which is
Yeah.
Okay.
But I can give you the name of some teams who I think are going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, but before you do that, at least how I measure teams, you got to win a major championship. Winning the what was it?
The Deep South NIT.
The Jingle Bell Classic.
Under Armour.
That don't mean
Man,
nothing.
it's hard to win.
No.
It's hard to win here.
You have to go. You have to go out of town. You got to play against the best teams.
Let me tell you something about.
That's the only way I consider the
Let me
best team.
tell you something
and
about.
if you can't do that, it won't
the
happen.
Metro Houston area in every sport, be it football, baseball, track, basketball, it is hard to win a championship here in these youth sports at any level because you're not gonna let's take Louisiana where I'm from for example.
Okay.
You got the Traction Canes. That's it. man, here you got Dynasty Black, who's coming up
Yeah.
out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We used to own them. They beat us
Yeah.
they beat the snot out of us down in Corpus this fall. Now, granted, we're not working on baseball as much,
Right,
and
right.
we made a bunch of errors in that game. But it's all baseball. Okay, they're a good team, man. You know, because these, you know. I hate to get ethnic again on y'all,
Yeah,
man.
go
but
ahead,
let me
man,
tell
go
you,
ahead.
Actually, I don't think you really hate it.
no. Let me tell you something, man, about white kids in baseball. See, right now, you know, you see those little white kids, and some of them they call them Pee Wee and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, they're gonna grow.
Man, see when they hit 14 to 15, you know, Pee Wee's 6'4" now.
Yeah,
You know
see
what
that
I'm
a lot. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So,
See that a lot.
so you can't, you know, just because those kids are good at these little ages, and some of these, you know, the white kids hadn't come yet.
Mm-hmm.
But when, you know, look at baseball. You know, look at baseball. Look at a roster in baseball. You got what 25 man roster, 26.
yeah, 25, 26. Yeah.
Okay, 11 of those guys are pitchers or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Rest of them position players. So I guarantee you the roster you're going to have most probably 12 white guys, eight Latinos, you know,
You're
maybe
right.
one black guy and one Asian guy now. You know what I'm saying? So if that's what the demographics of baseball is, then, you know, that's what it'll be,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
when you get there. So it is what it is, man. I'm a realist and I see the world as it is, not how I want it to be. Or how I think it should be. It is how it is.
Yeah.
And see those teams, like for instance, man, I'm telling you, see that backyard ballers team.
Mm-hmm.
To me, we play those guys and we beat them every time. But every game they get a little bit closer to us, and you can see that their kids are getting better. You can see it. You can see them getting better. That Dynasty Black team, I'm gonna tell you, we used to beat the snot out of those guys.
Yeah, I remember.
Now, when the spring roll around, they will be a force to be reckoned with. You know what I'm saying? You know, just based on, and it's not that they have, you know, a kid that just jump off the page at you. He does, but what they have is 10 solid kids that play the game the right way. And the coach, even though he and I almost got in a fight down
Hey,
there.
we got to talk about that.
You know,
We're going to talk about that.
Almost got in a fight down in Corpus because I'm telling Ruben, man, hey, man, don't complain about the call. That third base coach tell me to shut up.
Oh.
Now, we know if we're not at a baseball game or we at the bar, we at the mall, he's not going to tell me to shut up. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, you got the protection of the baseball game.
Hey,
so he felt like he can be disrespectful.
Is it true that they escorted you out to your vehicle?
No, just to the concession stand.
Just to the concession.
Just clarify it.
Okay, I just clarified because they called me. They're like, "Can you believe this? Mo's getting in a fight over here." And I said, "Oh, I bet
we can believe it.
The dude was being disrespectful. I'm not even talking to you. I'm telling my coach, hey, coach, let that go. Dude told me, shut up. You always running your mouth.
What do you have to say to those people, Mo, right now that are saying that stuff about you?
Man, they can kiss my whatever.
You're still gonna talk.
Man, well, see, the 5-tool is a little bit different because the reason why it's different is because, and I don't because I don't want to throw shade at anybody or whatever, but first of all, let me explain this to you guys, man. I come from a town that was a baseball town. Okay, my high school won from the early 80s, and we won like 3 or 4 state championships. Okay, I was raised in a community that was my high school was 70% white, but the baseball team was 85% black. And that's unusual in Louisiana because it was a public school. In Louisiana, New Orleans have what's called a Catholic League. And that's where all the good white baseball players, that's where Will Clark and all those guys came out of. Jesuit High School, Rommel High School. You know, my high school, we would beat them in baseball. We went to the state championship. We played Catholic High out of Baton Rouge, 91? Okay, they had Tim Lanier, the Daugherty kid, the Ainsworth kids. All those kids signed with LSU. We beat them in the state championship with 2 pitchers. Now, granted, the guy Kelvin Lee was drafted maybe in the 8th round by the Orioles through 92, 93 in high school, and the kid Armand Anderson was drafted by San Francisco Giants. He was a second baseman, but he was a pitcher. Couldn't break a window pane with his fastball, but he would throw you off, throw his changeup, throw his curveball, change speeds. They just were ball players. Yeah. And we won. So baseball is my I grew up in a time when it wasn't AAU basketball, it wasn't football, it was baseball. Man, I'm a baseball historian in my own mind. Yeah. So I understand the game of baseball. And now I'm with 5-2, the guy coached the game the right way. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
it's easier for you to lay back.
Yeah, it's easy for you to sit down this week and ask anybody if they heard me, man. I sat down in the stand because the game was being coached. Now, for example, we in the World Series, man. We playing Traction Canes, the semifinal. It's a 2-2 ball game. 2-2 ball game, man. We went what? We lost all our bracket games. We wasn't worried about that because we knew we could play. So once we flipped the switch, we knew we could hit with anybody in the country. I don't give a damn who it was. So we get into bracket play, and we hitting the cover off the baseball. Yeah. So we get to the semifinals against our nemesis, Traction Canes out of Baton Rouge, Brad Cressy, LSU All-American. His dad was the bullpen catcher for the Los Angeles Dodgers, and Tommy Lasorda is his godfather. So this is who we playing. So I'm from Louisiana, so I want to beat them boys bad, right? 2-2.
Yeah.
What? Top of the sixth?
Top of the sixth. The last inning.
Last inning. 2-2 ball game. We get the 6-hole hitter and the 7th-hole hitter on base. Nobody's out. Runners on first and second. Everybody in the baseball world who knows baseball, ever been around baseball, know you're supposed to bunt those runners over to second and third. We got Zimmer Hansel, the biggest kid and most probably the most dangerous power hitter outside of that kid from MVP Hustle, on deck because he was hitting in the 9th hole because he was hurt.
Yeah.
So our 8-hole hitter is up. So I'm thinking we're going to bunt. Okay, when we bunt, we got runners on second and third. You got to walk Zimmerhansel. You can't pitch to Zimmerhansel. You know what I'm saying? First base is open. I'm not pitching to Zimmerhansel in that situation. So now we back at the leadoff. We got Braxton, and Kalen is hitting second. So now you got a situation where Braxton, you could bunt with him because you're not going to throw him out. You're not going to double him up.
So what your coach do?
My coach.
Let's get there.
Bro,
I know you're trying. I know you're trying.
I'm not saying my coach. Somebody.
Yeah.
Your coach. I'm saying it.
Let that kid hit away. He pops the ball up on the infield. 1 out.
Okay.
Okay.
And check this next one out.
Next batter is AJ. Okay.
Guess where he hits it?
He hits the ball. He flies to center field.
A deep fly ball.
Deep fly balls. Kids tag up. Second and third. Okay. We got 2 outs. Runners on second and third. At that point, I walked out of the ballpark because I said the baseball gods will not forgive us. The baseball gods will not forgive us for not bunting that run over. Okay, so Braxton grounds out the second base.
Game.
They come back and score 1 run to win in the 6th. So
how mad were you? How mad were you?
I was irate, perturbed, furious, whatever you want to call. I was incensed. I was beside myself because I feel like we cheated our kids out of an opportunity to play in the play in the World Series championship game, and we had Zimmerhansel that could come back and pitch in the championship game, and Hustle was out of pitchers. They had pitched, they had shot their wild. The kid that the gas thrower, flamethrower, he was done. He pitching the game against the Donkeys in the semifinals against the Swamp Donkeys. So now we got Zimmerhansel ready to go on the mound, and we were on fire. We were coming in with momentum. Ain't nothing in my mind would have made me think that we wouldn't have won that game.
Well, you know what happens.
What?
Okay. So when you're in that big stage and you've never been there as a player, sometimes you may choke. That also happens with coaches too. It happens. I've seen it.
Look,
You've never been there?
I'll comment on that, man.
You've never been there?
We caught, look.
Man, I'm trying to be nice, man.
Listen, I'm just telling you. Coaches do choke.
I agree.
So we messed up. We messed up.
Because I won't forget this. We called time. I walked over there, and Mo's yelling at me, "What you going to do?" And I said, I got it. I went over there, and I was like, this is what we got to do. Walked off. I thought that was what the sign was called, and it wasn't.
And then another situation in the game when you got Kalen on third, Levi on second, and we get thrown out. One thing about Traction, they got a kid behind the plate can throw, and they are going. If you got runners on first and third, they throwing you out.
Yeah, but y'all should have beat Traction. Man, Traction was small.
We should have
They
beat
were a
Traction,
small
but
team.
we can't
Okay,
beat
but here-
Traction because
but
we beat ourselves.
But here's my deal, Mo. If AF was this good team that everybody wants to say they are, I'm not here to say whether y'all weren't or weren't. Excuse me. y'all got to murder. Y'all got to kill traction canes. They were small. They were about this big.
But
they were small.
But every time we played them, man, we had
It
to
was
beat,
like a tension
we had to beat,
in the air.
we had to beat Junior and Ruben. We didn't have to beat Traction. They would.
So then that's on the coaches then.
They would burn up 5 runners on base.
Nah, we would.
We would get 5 runners out on base, and we would keep Traction in the game the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up because when I saw y'all play at Baseball USA, I think y'all won that game.
Yeah, we
won
did.
that
Okay.
game. We beat
Okay.
them. We beat them. That's
All
the
right.
only time
So
we
I didn't
beat
know
them.
who you were at the time, right? But there was a base running blunder.
And I
In the first inning or second inning?
went
That's
crazy,
what-
didn't it?
You threw the water bottle.
Yeah.
You slammed the water
And I
bottle.
walked to the outfield because I'm like, man, every time we play these guys, this is what we do. And this is, to me, okay, they throw through, okay? If you wanted to get that guy out, you know that Kalen is on third base. That's my kid. He can flat out fly. Okay. What you do is when Levi was on first base that time in the game, you do the delayed steal, go and stop. They're gonna throw the ball through, and Kalen know he's gone. I don't care if they cut the ball off, they're not gonna get it. You know, those bases are too short. He runs too fast.
I'm not disagreeing.
Him or
Yeah.
Braxton, if they throw the ball past the pitcher and he's breaking because you know they're throwing, you're not throwing him out at the plate.
Yeah.
See, these are the things that.
Okay, so that's where the coaching chokes. You got to know your players. Listen, okay, but hold
Man, I
on.
love Ruben, man. He ain't gonna-
You can love them all you want, but we're just talking baseball here. Okay, so here's the deal now. And
They
I won't
wouldn't
put
have beat me if I was coaching.
and,
That's all I can tell
and
you.
I'm not going to put you on the spot. Okay.
You can put me on the spot. Don't
But-
ask a question if you don't want the truth.
Okay, but so here's the deal. Okay, so when that happened, I was okay with you flying off the handle because from a baseball sense, you're 100% correct. And I told Junior that too because I asked him, I said, dude, what were y'all doing? I mean, and I don't like to second guess coaches because until you're on the field, all this
Hey
and all
man,
that.
look, I will say this: as much as
y'all messed up.
influence or decisions y'all thought I had, they were overridden every time.
Okay, so going back, so then I was cool with you being upset with what happened, and I think now looking back on it, that water bottle spike, that shit was funny.
No, I shouldn't have done that though, man.
No, you're
that's-
right.
But that's the frustration, man. You know, and sometimes, man, as a parent, you gotta watch because my biggest issue is I'm so competitive, and I want to win, and I don't like to lose because of the mental aspect of the game. Kids are gonna make errors and mistakes. That's all a
Right.
part of the game. But managing is the reason why it's called a manager and not a coach.
Yeah, y'all
You
shoulda won that
managed
game.
the game. You should have won the game. They should never beat us, and they beat us every time because.
Y'all should have won that game 6-1, maybe 6-2.
Which one? The semifinal?
The one where y'all beat Traction Canes at Baseball USA when I was there. Y'all won 6-5 or 5-4?
It was
No,
7-7-1.
No, we beat them big because they kept walking.
Yeah,
Was it?
it was
Oh yeah,
7-1.
that's right. That's right.
Kept
Yeah,
walking.
that's
Seven
right.
one.
Then
That
they
was
came
another
back in bracket play and cut our tail up. They cut us up,
Yeah.
man. We for whatever reason, man, it was a mental hurdle. And if we just, baseball, man, that's a book. If you play the game by the book, you can never go wrong. The situations don't change in baseball. So
No.
when you learn how to play baseball, at the first time you pick the ball up, it's the same way they're gonna play it in the big leagues. So all you have to do is just manage by the book, and you don't go wrong. Now, as you get higher in baseball, now if you got a runner back in the days when I was watching baseball, if you get a runner on second base, depending on where you were in the game and nobody out, they would bunt the guy over to third base. But now in baseball, they don't do that anymore
Yeah,
because they say,
sabermetrics.
yeah, you're not going to do that.
Analytics.
Yeah, exactly. I'm expecting that guy to hit a double and that guy to score, and the next guy to hit another double and that guy
Yeah,
scores.
it
So
doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question because we always get, and one of the reasons why we wanted to have you on is because we always hear about bad parents. Okay, I don't necessarily think you're a bad parent. I think you're a great parent
I'm a great parent.
until you get to the ballpark. Now, so what? And I'm not talking about you. I'm just talking about when the game is on, and you're talking, and you're doing this, you're doing that. You think that pisses some of the people off on your team? Do you think they get annoyed? And I know you don't care about it, but it's just a general question.
I can't speak for how anybody feel, man. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is be who I am. You know what I'm saying? I'm not there to make you happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You know what I'm
were
saying?
coaches intimidated by you?
No.
Were you intimidated?
No,
Nah,
because
we
I'm not
always
like
had
that.
good- no.
I'm not like
Okay.
that, man. I'm not the type
Well, that's
of
not
guy-
what I heard, but so that's why I'm asking. So I don't know.
I'm not the kind of guy that's gonna come and cuss the coach out and tell the coach what to do. That's not what I do.
So was Ruben scared of you?
Hell no. Ruben is not a punk, man.
Were you giving suggestions about where players should play?
No.
Batting lineup?
Yes.
Okay.
Mo is my favorite parent to play against. The comments right there.
Yes. Yes. I because man, my thing is this.
Walk me through that. Why? Okay, so now obviously it was probably you had the best intention for the team. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when you came up to Ruben and you gave him your suggestion for the lineup, did he take it?
No, not always. He's not like that, man. Ruben is an alpha, man. He ain't the type of dude that's gonna do what you tell him to do, man. Ruben.
Well, if he was an alpha, he wouldn't listen to you in the first place about a lineup.
We got a relationship. That's
Don't
what you
matter.
don't realize, man.
Don't matter.
He and I are friends, so he respected me. I respected him. Just because, I told him something he didn't agree with it. Mm-hmm. That don't mean that.
Well, as a friend, yes.
We were tested. That didn't mean that we were.
As a friend, yes. I have a lot of friends who are high school baseball coaches and college coaches. I never tell them who to play. I never tell them what their lineup is.
But that's high school and college coaches. We talking about playground coaches. Yeah. Man, it ain't the same kind of coaching. Man, it ain't the same kind of level.
We've never had a parent tell our team
maybe,
what their opinion of the batting lineup should be.
Maybe the parents deem you competent. You ever thought about that?
Oh yeah. Well, we win, so
we won too.
Yeah, but we win at the national level. See, but it's not about me or you. But I'm just saying.
I was a coach.
Okay, but going back to you and the coach. Mm-hmm. I think at some point in time, and I'm not speaking about Ruben because it's neither here nor there. Mm-hmm. I think you have a strong personality. Mm-hmm. I think you would intimidate lesser people.
No, man, it's not like what you think. It's
not. Man, I'm just
saying
from afar.
It's not what you think, man.
Just from afar.
Only at the baseball game, man.
We're not talking about anything else. We're just talking about the baseball field.
If you're doing wrong.
Yeah, because we're chilling right here. I mean, it's.
let me tell you something, man.
Okay.
One of the reasons why I decided to go with Carlos is because I respect his credentials as a baseball coach.
Okay.
So we don't have to have that conversation.
So
okay.
Are you?
But when I'm sitting in the ballpark and I know more than you, okay, and I'm trying to stay with you, okay, because the only alternative I have is leaving and going find a better baseball coach. But I don't want to do that because I want to stay with you. I want this to be where we need it to be.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because my son, my other son plays junior high football or whatever, and my Kalen plays football. I don't tell their coaches anything.
Yeah, that was going to be my next question.
I don't tell them anything because if, and I'm a football coach. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm sitting down watching a baseball game, man, and I see incompetence,
you're going to say something.
I'm going to say something because I'm trying to stay. Because if I don't say anything, I'm leaving because you don't know what you're doing. And I should be able to come to the game and sit down comfortably and not enjoy the game and not have to worry about the coaching. So what the biggest fallacy out there, especially here in Texas, there's a lot of guys coaching these teams don't know a damn thing about baseball. Right. I'm watching baseball day in and day out because we played. One thing about Force, man, we played 60, 75 games a year. We played.
We did 80 last year.
So I would see guys coaching these teams who don't have a clue.
Yeah.
And parents are sitting there. That's not a parent of a team that I hadn't been around here and not hear them talk about their coaches. Oh, yeah. They don't like their coaches. I don't want to have to talk about my coach because I want to be comfortable that I'm just talking about the fundamental by the book stuff. Right. Now, when he makes a decision based on feel, I know you do that sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you don't bunt with runners on first and second in the top of the sixth inning with nobody out, man, I don't give a damn who you are. You could have been Casey Stengel. You could have been Billy Martin. You could have been Earl Weaver. Your ass was wrong. You understand what I'm saying? So that's all I'm saying, man. So you not knowing me, Junior knowing me, man, I'm the easiest guy to get along with because I'm going to tell you the truth, and you can tell me whatever you got to tell me, and I'm not going to take offense.
Yeah, and that's why I asked you the question because there's a lot of people that don't know you.
Yeah.
And so they see you from the other side.
Yeah.
And based on any particular game, let's say something may happen. Who knows what will happen? And so now that perception could be
something's going to happen.
Yeah. Let's take a little break on this right here. We got Cookie Barra that's about to call in. So let me just hook this up real quick and get him on the line real quick. All right.
Just let me know when he answers and
okay. And then that way I don't want to have him waiting. But we'll get back to that. Okay, go ahead. They're asking when are you starting Mo Betta Baseball Club, Mo?
Tell them I'm too old, coach, man.
Hey, what's going on, Cookie? Is it on?
Is it on? Hold on.
Yeah,
hold on.
It should be on.
Great looking shirt you got on right there.
Hey, what's going on, bro? Hey. Hey, I appreciate it for the shirt, man. Hey, I'm enjoying it. It came out good. I'm sorry.
I would ask Steve. Steve, where's your shirt, man?
Hold on.
Hold on. Steve's over there getting Crown and Coke. We got Cookie on tonight. He's asking where your shirt, man. Hold on. They're taking shots over there. Mo and Steve are taking shots. But hey, how you been, bro?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me on.
Hey, anytime. All right. So, I did announce earlier in the show that we were going to get you on. And before we get in there, you're from Central Texas, correct?
Yes, sir.
And talk to us.
My home base is in New Braunfels.
Okay, New Braunfels. Talk to us about, let's talk a little bit about youth baseball. How is select baseball over there?
It's just as good as anywhere else. Let me tell you. So we have our upsides and we have our downsides, but as far as program we're around and what we're doing, we try to stay and compete on the high side. That's where we're at.
Nice. All right, Steve's on now, so he's holding up the shirt for you.
Hey, shout out
Yeah,
Cookie.
baby.
Good job on them. And on the wind-up shirts as well. We gave you a shout-out earlier. I don't know if you were watching or listening. How you doing, man? You doing all right?
Good, man. I just, on the road.
Good.
On the road. I got about 2 more hours here, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, so we wanted to get you on so you could talk about your organization. Just give us a brief rundown of what you guys got going on, who you are, what you're trying to do, without getting too specific. But just let us know a little bit about yourself, Cookie. I know, but we want everybody who listens to us to know about you guys.
Absolutely. So, name's Cookie Barra. I'm originally from Muscatine, Iowa, and so live in Central Texas now. So, been there for a while. Prior to moving over to ZT, I ran an organization called Cookie's E-Train in Central Texas that we just officially shut down in December after 14 years. I've had a lot of guys go to college, some guys get drafted and whatnot, so it's a very, very good run for that organization. And so I'm on to being the new athletic director here for ZT Baseball, a group based out of Houston that we got a great support group that allows us kind of free reign to kind of build our brand. So we've been on the grind here per se through the fall season. Hopefully January 1st or by January 1st we'll be able to launch and announce 30 plus teams across the state.
Nice. And how are your teams looking in Houston? But before you answer that, Cookie, let me let everybody know that this Sunday at Bear Creek Park on December 15th, you're having a tryout for a 10U major team. And Bear Creek Park is at 3535 War Memorial Drive, Houston, Texas, 77084. Field 2 is the location, and the time is going to be from 3:30 to 5 p.m. And also, this team will be fully sponsored, and they will practice and work out at Baseball USA. So all you 10U major kids that want to try out for ZT Baseball, please go out to Bear Creek Park at 3:30 on Sunday and meet Cookie. Talk to some of the guys that are going to be out there with ZT Baseball. They're all good guys. I met with everybody, and there's some generally good guys out there. So, if you want to go out there and play some high-level baseball, please show up to Bear Creek Park on Sunday, and tell Cookie you say we sent you. Excuse me. So go ahead about the Houston area, Cookie.
Absolutely. So, obviously, one of the hotbeds in the state of Texas is Houston. With our owner Tazir and his family being in the Houston area, and with his business being there, and who our support cast is with our offices there, it's just absolutely right for us to be able to start that program there in Houston. We will have 10U major tryouts, so I appreciate you guys shooting that out for me. We will be looking to fill our 9U and our 10U, which both of them will be fully sponsored. If we can get a strong base couple groups, we feel that we're with what we do, we'll be able to grow. And being able to grow in Houston, to me, is a very important place in the state, not just the other spots on where we're growing at right now. We'll have starting January 1. We'll have teams in Dallas, Killeen, Waco, Austin, Butte-Kyle area, on into San Antonio, into the Rio Grande Valley. So really for us, the growth into Houston is a big deal. We're finishing up some deals with and finishing up our rosters for our teams in Beaumont, and I'm currently headed into Louisiana to go have some tryouts in Louisiana here tomorrow for our youth and high school groups. So Houston's going to be a big middle point for us on us growing it and what we want to do growth-wise, not just in the state but in the country as well.
And you're also gonna have high school teams in the summer as well, right? Here in the Houston area, or am I speaking too quickly on that?
You're absolutely correct. We currently have 3 high school teams in the Houston area that were really started. We started a little bit late, based upon when I took over the athletic director position. We were able to fill three high school teams this past fall, and so coming up in January here, we're going to hit some high school tryouts there in Houston, and looking to expand and grow our market on the high school side in Houston.
And what's the lowest age level that you guys have right now? Is it 7U, 8U, or is it 9U?
9U is our current lowest level.
Okay.
I definitely have had some interest on the 8U level. So when we start to push, once our teams are filled on the 9U and 10U major side, we're looking to embark into the 8U and then expand into 11s, 12s, 13s, and 14s.
Okay.
So that's what we're kind of looking towards right now.
Okay. And once again, everybody, we're talking to Cookie Ibarra with ZT Baseball, the baseball director of the state of Texas. So he's on the line right now talking to us and making sure we get the word out about the tryouts that are coming up this Sunday at 3:30 at Bear Creek Park for the 10U team. And you're also are tryouts also going to be for the 9U team, Cookie?
Yes, 9U and 10U.
Okay, so
both 9U and 10U.
Okay, so it's both 9U, 10U, and both teams are going to be fully sponsored.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
sir.
Can you give us the definition of what fully sponsored is? Because I think I know what it is, but somebody out listening may not know, Cookie.
Absolutely. Our fully sponsored teams will receive uniforms, practices, paid coaches, all the tournaments, practices, anything dealing with the team, as far as games and tournaments, will be fully sponsored. The travel for parents is on their own, but for World Series, etc. But any tournament, full uniform, coaches, all taken care of.
That's really impressive. That's really impressive. What do you think about that, Junior? As you're eating your cookie, I'm sorry.
Man, that sounds great. I'm going to show up Sunday.
So Junior said he's going to show up. I've called a couple of kids, and they're going to be going out there as well, too, Cookie. So, we're doing our part to get some people out there to make sure that that you guys have a great turnout, because not only is it a great baseball organization, although it's fairly new, it's still a great baseball organization, but we also want to make sure that, you have people out there so you can have the pick of the litter on these teams, because in talking to you, you guys want to form some good teams, some good competitive teams. And, if I'm a parent looking in and I have a chance to play for an organization that values, being good, development, all that stuff, I would want to at least check them out. And then the caveat is going to be, if it's going to be fully sponsored, then why not go out there? I mean, what is anybody else doing on Sunday but watching the Texans? And they'll probably lose. So, so that's the reason why I would do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's let me tell you, it's been a little bit of a grind, but it's in the end, it's all worth it. I can't do it without the supporting cast of all the coaches in our program, from North Texas to North Central Texas, into South Texas. So, I believe we're constructing a great group that we want to quietly make a big splash and go from there.
Oh, good. Junior, you had a question?
No, that's it. Hey, I appreciate you coming on, Cookie, and giving us a few your minutes and discussing ZT baseball, man.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me on, and Junior, I hope to get a chance to see you, and hopefully you have that shirt on as well, so everybody knows.
Yeah, no, he said he's gonna go out there. He already told me 3 times, Cookie, that he's going out there. If he doesn't show up, just call me or text me, and I'm gonna find out where he's at.
I appreciate the shirt, brother.
Absolutely. Hey, I'm gonna put a table up. You have the shirt on. We can sign some autographs with it.
Hey, there you go. You want to get some autographs for myself? I'll be there.
Yeah, Cookie. Well, we know you're driving to Louisiana right now, but we just wanted to talk to you and talk about your organization, talking about your tryout that you got coming on this Sunday, and also, and more importantly, we wanted to thank you for the shirts that you got us in such a short time frame. I'm not wearing mine because I was eating pizza. I'm not gonna lie to you, Cookie. I was eating some pizza and I don't want to mess up my white shirt, but I will be wearing it tomorrow, and I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you. But we just wanted to thank you for calling us and letting us know about what's going on over there at ZT, and hopefully everybody goes out there on Sunday and you have a good turnout.
For sure, I appreciate you guys having me on, and I appreciate the help. Hopefully get to see everybody out on Sunday.
Yeah.
Bear Creek.
Yeah, and we'll keep on announcing it too. So thanks for calling in, Cookie. Have a safe drive to Louisiana, and hopefully whatever you're going out there for, you get whatever you need. So take care, my man.
Thank you guys very much.
All right, Cookie. Thanks, buddy. Be safe out there.
Yes, sir. We'll see you.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, thanks. Bye-bye. Cookie Bar with ZT Baseball. Good dude.
Talking to Cookie, eating a cookie, baby.
Yeah.
Cookies are good too, man.
Yeah, that's the Issa cookie. That is the chocolate chip M&M with pecans, I believe.
Okay, when y'all gonna take this public, man?
Well, we got the shop, man. We got the new shop down the street that'll have a grand opening in February. That's where we're shooting. So we're actually gonna record live from there. We're gonna invite you. You're gonna come out, man.
Yeah, come out.
I just gotta make sure we got a lot, because man, every guest that comes, like when we come, man, we just be eating the hell out of them. Issa's not here. She's at
she's somewhere.
Yeah, she's somewhere. But if not, she'd be bringing them up.
Hey, is there beef going on between Ryan and Carl on
What's
YouTube?
going on, man?
With whom?
Between Ryan and Carl? Is there any beef going on in there?
I don't know.
Ooh, I don't know.
Do they charter kids to and from practice? I don't know.
Hey, man, that sounds like a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of the good teams and the good kids are already kind of like with their teams.
Yeah.
And that's because I'm listening to this, and I just joined Phi Tool.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been something that if maybe brought to me like maybe a month ago, maybe something I may have considered. But my thing is, I want to play on good baseball teams, man. I got to win, man. And I don't think having your kid in the situation, if you have a really talented kid, that's why I don't like Little League. He's got to play with kids of the same caliber where practices could be good.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to compete in practice. You know what I'm saying? So if you go to a team like that and you got 2 good ball players and maybe
building around, it slows it down a little bit.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to play in the big games and get deep on Sundays, man.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because me and Junior, to go back before, we had this conversation yesterday, okay, about kids playing on good teams, okay, because there's a rush right now about, hey, man, we all want to play on the best team, we want to do this, that, and the other. When you get to high school, Mo, none of that shit matters.
No,
None of it matters. It don't matter if you play for FTP, if you play for
No,
Hustler.
that don't matter. That don't matter.
High school coaches don't care about that.
No, where you came from, but I'm just telling you, in
Yeah,
order
yeah.
for, we played Little League in Pearland. Pearland Little League, it's supposed to be so good. You go out there, you got 2 good players on the team, and then you got a bunch of Jerry's. I mean, no, I don't want to say that, but you got a bunch of other kids that can't play. So, the practices are crappy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You hope your kid don't throw a ball across the diamond and kill someone. So that's the thing. That's why I like playing select ball with a bunch of good players, because you can practice, and then you're competitive. And, we all played on good teams growing up. We all played on bad teams, man. I mean, bad teams bring you down, man. It's bad for morale. You know what I'm saying? So I want my kid to play with kids that can push him and make him work hard.
Yeah.
You know.
You want to read what Deborah Silver wrote, the first
Oh
one?
yeah, here we go. Look, we got some comments. Man, FTP Force games were always an experience last year because of Mo. Maybe one day I will know what it's like to be on the same side of the stands with Mo. It's being a trip on the opposite side. Mo's a stand-up guy. After FTP lost to Force at the Elite 32, he took time to walk to Diego in the parking lot and talk to him and cheer him up. So.
See, that's
See?
not all bad, man.
There you
Nah.
go.
But that's the reason
bad.
why I bring that up, because some people don't know you. So if they don't know you and they see you in in that little split second,
Hey,
that's their perception.
Hey,
of
what's
it.
gonna happen is Mo
Mo,
is
you
gonna
can-
turn into a celebrity next time you walk to baseball. You're gonna be like, hey,
Hey, that's the guy right there.
That's
the
him.
guy right there.
That's
Yeah,
Mo.
they're gonna go see FTP 10 now.
Yeah.
Just to go see Mo.
But if you ever watch me play, if you ever watch me at a game, when a kid on the other team make a good play,
Yeah.
man, I'm clapping for that kid. You know what I'm saying? Because a good play is a good play. When a
Yeah.
kid make a good baseball play, man, I'm a baseball purist. You know what I'm saying? I keep telling you the time I grew up.
Yeah,
know,
no,
I love
we talked
baseball.
about it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a baseball purist, man. And when somebody play the game the right way, that's what I love seeing.
Oh,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm
Right.
not into, launch angles and all that crazy stuff. And, it's all right to strike out 200 times as long as you hit 40 home runs. That's crazy to me. I don't care
Yeah.
what the analytics say. If you strike out 200 times, that's 200 times you didn't put the ball in play and something could have
Oh,
happened.
yeah.
Hey, we talked about that in the earlier episodes about how Astros shied away from the small ball. You think that hurt them towards the end? Because there was times
Well,
game,
I
game
think you
6
have
and
to
7
play-
we could have got.
But the
I
pros
think
don't do that.
They
Pros
don't do it
that.
anymore.
Pros
But what
don't
I'm
do
saying
that.
is, I think you have to play a combination. What it takes to win that game that day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where they've gotten away. Well, if he's reached this many pitches, he's got to come out of the game. You know what I'm saying? If the guy's throwing the ball good, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I know when guys used to throw 400 innings, man, a year. And they didn't have Tommy John. The only person I knew who had Tommy John was Tommy John. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else had Tommy John surgery, man. I used to, like I'm telling you, I can go back. I remember when Tommy John was with the Dodgers. And who you had? Bert Hooton, Don Sutton on that staff. You know what I'm saying? Those guys, I think Tommy John might have been like the third starter. And I remember him playing with the Yankees. But, those guys threw a bunch of innings. He was the
Yeah.
only guy who had Tommy John surgery. He was Tommy John.
Yeah.
Left-handed
Yeah.
guy,
The second one was Brent Strom.
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah, they have Tommy John surgery. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys would throw, man. Those guys would throw innings, man.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
But I think
Just throw and run.
I
back in
think
the day.
I think to me, if you throw, you build your arm up. It's just like any other muscle on your body. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You have to throw to build it up.
Right.
So if you're not throwing, if you're only throwing, 200 innings a year, then that's all you're good for.
Yeah.
So it's about endurance, taking care of your arm. We used to always say you had to run. If you had a sore arm, you need to run more because you're not using your body. So I don't know if that's true. That's a lot of folklore and all kind of stuff in old time baseball.
There's a lot of people now that don't like to run.
Yeah, they're against it.
The
They
new
talked
school.
about it on the.
Yeah.
But
They
why-
rather do stretching and all that other stuff.
running is conditioning. So why wouldn't
I
you
agree.
run?
I'm with you. But if you
Man, it's
okay,
just
so
like those guys wrote all these child care books and stuff saying that you got to talk to your kid, you got to put him in timeout. My daddy ain't never put me in no timeout, and I ain't never been in trouble. He timed me out with that belt. You know what I'm saying? Now all of a sudden you get all of these people with these PhDs.
count to 5, yeah.
All these PhD guys come up, man. They got to write a book. They got to justify somebody giving them a fellowship and paying the money, so they come up with all these stupid ideas to raise kids. And now kids come home and think they're the parent. Man, you got to be out of your mind, boy. My daddy would slap you upside. You say something you ain't got no business saying. You see what's gonna happen to you, right? Punch you in your mouth, and that was the end of that.
Yeah,
Ain't nothing wrong with that. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm with you.
Man, look, my kids step out of line. You can come to our house if you want to, because if you get in the way, you gonna get it too. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you're the kid. I'm the parent. I pay the bills. Man, you do what I say. When you can pay some bills around here, then we might be able to talk about something. But when you living on my dime and you don't do, the only thing you do is get up in the morning and go do whatever it is you got in your day, and I got to take care of the rest of the stuff, man, we're not discussing anything. My kid can't come to me and say, look, Dad, I don't want to play with this team. I want to play with that team. Oh, no, dude, I get all those decisions. The only decision my kid will be able to make is when he get ready to go to college and he decides where he wants to go to school, because now he has to live that life. But everything up to there, oh, no, dude, I'm the one who
And if he
knows.
wants to go to Alabama, then what? I'm just asking.
But if he wants to go to Alabama, roll tide. You know what I'm saying? Because that's my kid. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, when he makes his decision, that's when he can make a decision.
Right.
Anything prior to that, because a lot of people, well, I gotta see if my son want to play with that team.
I was about to bring that up.
Man, are you crazy? My son don't have enough knowledge to make a decision on what team he's gonna play on. He's
But
gonna play
you
on a
hear that a
team.
lot.
I tell.
Man.
Man, come on, man.
You hear that a
He's
lot.
7, he's 8, he's 9.
Yeah.
So you're gonna tell me he's gonna tell you, oh, Mom, I want to play on this team because X, Y, Z. Come on,
Nah,
man. He
man.
doesn't have the capacity.
Hey, that was exactly what I was about to bring up. How do you feel about that? I'll tell you how I feel about that. I think look, that happened with our 11U team last week, right? Everybody's going through the changes, trials. We posted Santos posted a thing. It's like, hey, if you're coming back, just let me know. If you're not, no. One of the parents on there, I'm not going to name who it was,
Name him.
goes, oh, I got to talk to I said, bro, you telling me you out. Like, that's cool. You're not going to hurt my feelings. Like, that's Santos' team. But it's like, come on, man. Like, to me, that was unbelievable, man. I went off on the guys. I was
Silly.
writing like, are you serious, man?
Silly.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
man. Like,
I'm with you on that.
I agree. I agree with you, Mo. I was raised old school. I used to get whipped that sounds bad, but like you know,
Dude,
used to
yeah.
No, I used to
class,
get
everything.
whippings. No,
Yeah.
I'm not lying. I used to get my daddy whipped me. He didn't spank me. He didn't do, man, he whipped my tail with a belt when I got out of line. And I've never been in trouble in my life. So my brother hadn't been in trouble.
So when a parent says, I gotta talk to my kid, that's bullshit, huh?
Maybe not, because some people, that's the problem. We got kids raising parents. Yes. That's the overall national problem that we have in our society. Man, my kids don't make any decisions. None. Zero. However you want to say it. I make all the decisions, man. Now, when they get to, when they get ready to leave the house or whatever, and where they want to go to school, that's on them. But anything prior to that, I got that. I got that, man. I got your best interest.
Yeah, for
like,
sure.
No, you do.
I'm
Yeah,
going
you
to
do.
give you a good example, man, and with baseball. If you watch baseball early, you see a lot of black kids playing baseball, right? And some of them are really good. Then all of a sudden they get around 12 or 13, you don't see them anymore because now all their friends play basketball, right? So now they all playing basketball. They left baseball alone. So that's why baseball had to come back with all these urban initiatives and all kinds of stuff, because at one time, a lot of blacks were playing baseball in the 70s and the 80s, and they were actually making it to the major leagues. And if you even look at the history of baseball, some of the best players in the history of baseball were black players. Frank Robinson is the only player to win MVP in both leagues. You understand what I'm saying? Gary Templeton, Willie Wilson, 100 hits from both sides of the plate, the only two players in history. Eddie Murray might have been the best switch hitter of all time. You know what I'm saying? So, it go on and on. But, man, when basketball came around, and after Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan was the worst thing that ever happened to blacks playing baseball. Now everybody got
want
this.
to be a Mike.
Man, you 5'9". Everybody,
Man, hey, you go. Okay.
you gotta hoop
Hold
right.
on, I got something for you. You know what? You know what pisses me off, Mo?
What?
When a Hispanic dude wants to tell me my son's not going to play baseball because he's going to play basketball, and I'm like, bro, turn on the TV, look at a game, and tell me when you see a Hispanic playing hoops.
He's gonna be the next Eduardo Nahara.
He was 6'9". He was 6'9". And that's it. So when they bring that up, I tell them he was 6'9".
Man, I'm just telling you. Man.
I don't understand it.
I don't understand it either.
Or
man.
football. Now I'm with, because you really, and we had this the other day.
Yeah.
Yes, we do.
Hispanics are genetically challenged, and so
Let's hear from the Valley.
Mexican Americans, yeah. But then they stop growing too at 14. However size they are at 9, they're at 14.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that. So now you know when I say that, you know where I heard that, right?
Yeah.
'Cause
Well,
I'm
no,
good.
but
He
we
tells
talked
me.
about it. We
it.
talked about it because I think there's a lot of kids, and I'm not saying you should just play one sport, but as a parent, you need to understand your son, if you're Hispanic, you're not going to play basketball.
But question
in the pros.
to you.
Not gonna,
Okay,
not gonna
what
happen.
sport does Hispanic Americans excel at, on a professional level? Now that we talking.
It's probably not. I mean,
I'm still gonna go baseball on that.
yeah, you would
How
say
many-
that,
how
but
many-
they're
how
not
many-
in the pro zone.
How many would Rendon? Who else? That would be a pro American born Hispanic baseball player. And I'm not talking about
let's look
Afro Latino either. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
them
yeah, yeah.
guys.
You're not talking about Latin
No,
Americans.
because they mix with the same thing that I'm mixed with.
Yeah.
The slave ship just stopped over in Puerto Rico before it got over here to
Yeah.
the U.S.
yeah. Then Dominican Republic
Dominican
and Haitian
Republic,
and all that. Yeah,
Haitian.
all that stuff.
Not
yeah.
Haitian, because the Dominican Republic and
Cubans.
Haiti are neighboring on the same island.
they're right
but
there.
Haitians don't play baseball.
No, they don't. They don't.
But this is just a.
But you got Rendon, and he's a dog. He's a player.
Nomar Garcia Parra.
Yeah, Garcia Parra. He played at Georgia Tech.
Tres Barrera out of Eagle Pass. Shout out to Tres.
Mm-hmm.
Follows me on Facebook. He just won with the national.
Sergio
got called
Romo.
up. Sergio
Oh, there's
Romo.
more than I thought.
Chris
That's
Davis.
that's pretty good.
No.
Yeah,
What?
well, yeah, his grandparents. Yeah, he played with the Mexican national
Okay,
team.
let
at
me
one time.
let me give you another thing, man, because I read a lot. Don't you know that more slaves went to Mexico than the United States? And they said in that article I was reading that just about every Mexican has some Afro heritage in their lineage.
Yeah. No.
Read it, man. It's in the book.
Andre Ethier, Joe Kelly.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, Andre
No.
Ethier. Hey, true story. Andre Ethier's mom was our airline stewardess for American West. Or no, what is
shit.
it?
Was
Man,
she nice? No.
She was the nicest.
No, I'm
person.
talking about nice.
Oh no!
Oh shit! You see this? Look, Santos is here.
Where?
Look at Steve's face. Santos gonna text me, man, asshole.
Oh,
Man. I'm glad he's not
Yeah,
on there.
Rendon, AJ Ramos,
Sergio Romo. Yeah, there's a lot of Freddie Benavides.
That's a pretty good list out there.
Javi Guerra, pitcher. Okay.
See
Adrian
where
Gonzalez.
because when you hear the Hispanic name, most of the time you're thinking DR, Puerto
Yeah.
Rico, Cubans and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
no, you're 100% correct on that.
Yeah.
Ted Williams. What?
Yeah.
I heard that a long
His
time
mom
ago.
was
Yeah.
mom was Mexican. You didn't see that HBO thing on Ted Williams?
No, I need to watch that.
Might be the-
Whoa. Yo. Okay. So hey, man,
Yeah.
Representing, man.
everybody can make it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
El Paso.
Okay, now go to Hispanics in the NBA.
All right, here we go. It's
Gonna
gonna be
have
like
Nahara.
one.
That's the word on it. And Adon, or whatever his name was, center guy that played with the Hornets for a minute.
Yeah, it's going to be a short list right there. Yep. Nah, but he's Spanish.
Trevor
Yeah,
Ariza.
Spanish, yeah.
yeah, he's
Spanish.
Spanish.
Yeah, they're Spanish. El Harford is a Dominican.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Mexican American, man. You
Yeah,
can't say
put
Hispanic,
Mexican-
man.
Yeah, Mexican Americans.
Cheech and Chong, Mexican American, go to night school, take Spanish, get a beat.
That's it.
So what did I tell you? One person.
That's what I'm not.
That is so
Yeah.
funny, bro. And then oh man, and that's
Hey,
not even his real
but
name.
that's their one right there. Every time I bring that up, oh, we were in the heart. Yeah, he was 6'9". How tall was he? Because I think he was 6'8", 6'9".
6'7", I think.
Because I remember him
Look.
when he played at OU.
Oklahoma,
I hated
yeah,
that
OU.
dude. God, couldn't stand him.
Horacio Lamas was a first.
Man, ain't nobody know who that guy
But-
is. Shout out to him though for making it.
6'8",
6'8",
Yeah.
there you go.
240
Yeah.
out of San
He's from
Antonio.
Chihuahua.
Oh, he's from Chihuahua. Hey,
Chihuahua.
aren't you from Chihuahua?
No, I'm from Nuevo León.
Oh, okay. Really? Or are you from?
Monterrey.
No.
Well, nah,
Are you from Monterey? Or you from the
No,
outskirts?
You
Because
from
hold
Pasadena,
on,
man.
let's get it right.
I'm from Pasadena.
Okay,
my,
but family.
My mom and my dad are from.
Man, I don't want
Okay, hold on.
I don't want Donald Trump to dispatch nobody over here come get you out of here, man. You were born in Pasadena,
Nah,
man.
I was born right there
Okay.
on the hospital of Southmore.
Okay, so Are they really from Monterey or from the outskirts of Monterey?
China Nuevo Leon, which is the outskirts.
Okay, so not really.
Yeah, my
from
parents
Monterey.
are from Nuevo Leon, like
Where-
deep inside.
Okay.
Where your people from?
Shit, right there, Houston, Texas, baby.
Somebody had to come over here.
Man, I don't know. I'm not a big history guy, so I have no idea. I don't even know
Man,
where I'm
this, guy,
from.
this guy lives in Siena, Mo.
Oh, yeah.
You know the first house before you pull up to Siena Park? That's Steve. The one with the Ferrari outside?
Yeah, money long.
Those stables that are behind his house, those are his.
Those people out of the cartel. I know.
Not me.
El Chapo is my uncle, man.
Never been to Mexico.
Michael Young or Keedy. Okay.
Yeah, you're kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about Michael Young. Yeah, he's.
Hey, we had that story. Wait, didn't Coach Blue talk about? That's what you talked about, right?
Did he
Yeah.
talk about Michael Young?
Yeah, I'll ask Coach Blue.
Yeah, it was something like that. But that's so that always right there. It always gets to me, Mo. It's like, man, it's just not gonna happen.
What about
It's just-
football?
Hey, man.
Not
Junior.
Nah, don't even waste your time on football. You're gonna have Villanueva, and
Can
that's
we
it.
transition into the teams for the spring?
Just do
Yeah,
it.
let's do it. What you want to talk about?
Because you got the strike zone team, right?
Yeah.
That's basically 5-2
5-2 with AJ.
with AJ. I miss AJ because AJ is he's an intimidating factor. You know what I'm saying? He's a big kid, and he doesn't have to hit a ball good because he's so big and strong for the ball to go somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and we played this weekend against Nitro, and Nitro put Kalen on base the first time, and the next time he threw him 4 straight pitches. When AJ was hitting behind him, he didn't have that issue. You always got a chance to swing because you rather pitch to him than AJ.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I miss AJ because of that. But you got strike zone.
Adidas.
You got
still
Adidas.
out there.
Adidas got the same team. They're going to be pretty good again. They already qualified. They won
Yeah.
the Super NIT. You got Dynasty Black, man.
Yeah.
The guy the coach that I wanted to punch in the mouth for telling me to shut up.
Yeah.
He's actually a good baseball coach. Just to get the foolishness out of the way, because I don't think that should have escalated to that.
Yeah.
He had no business telling me to shut up, and then at that point, I'm most probably older than him. I should have just blew that off because I knew, it's not like that guy can walk around that fence and tell me shut up. Even at 54, he would have had to whip me.
Yeah, but it's hard. It's hard to let that go, though.
Yeah, I know.
Especially when you're like.
Yeah, I'm
Like
not
in
even
the game?
talking to
Yeah,
you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
exactly.
even
That's
talking to
tough.
you.
Yeah.
I'm telling my coach, man, let that go. Be quiet. Let that go. Let's just focus on the game. Dude's gonna tell me to shut up like I'm a kid. You know what I'm saying? He's crazy. I would never tell a man that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I do, I'm ready for the consequences. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So if I tell you that, I'm ready for whatever we got to do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But a lot of time, man, guys are getting inside of those fences and stuff, and they'll say things because man, stop that. You wouldn't if you wouldn't tell me that on the street, don't tell me that here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't tell you that because I actually like the guy. Because I watch the game and I watch what they're doing and I like what they're doing.
Yeah.
One of my favorite coaches is the guy from Backyard Ballers. Man, that guy get the maximum out of his kids. He work them hard. He coached the game the right way. They play hard. They're one of the up-and-coming teams in 10U to me. I mean, they're there.
Yeah.
Okay? And, of course, the 5-2 team that we're on right now, I think we're going to be pretty good once we get Acuna back and then we get and Carlos learn. The biggest thing is knowing how to handle the pitching staff. And if everybody knew and you don't know all the teams as the teams come up, you don't know how to match your team up against certain teams like that. So once we get that down, I think we'll be pretty good.
What about Cruise Baseball? You heard of them? People are saying that in the comments.
Yeah.
Or Gulf Coast? Who's Gulf Coast?
They gonna be all right. But what I'm saying is, right now, it's gonna be hard to beat those teams that I'm telling you right now because a lot of those teams are new.
Yeah.
And when you're new, you can't get all the good ball players, man. I mean, all the good ball players are really the kids who've been playing are already on those top teams. But of course, they're gonna always have new teams that's coming up.
Yeah.
But Crew Baseball, that's the guy Masonette, right?
Yes, I know who he is.
I spoke with him for a minute. But like, it's hard, man, when you get guys you're not going to Adidas and taking any players.
Yeah.
Okay. You're not going to Backyard Ballers and taking any players. You're not going to Dynasty Black and take their players. You're not coming, the kids who wanted to leave 5-2 left. American Force broke up. So those players are already somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's hard to get those top tier baseball players if they're already with somebody and they're already happy.
Yeah.
Your guy from what's the new organization coming in? We just-
ZT.
ZT. He's paying for everything.
Yeah.
Okay, but
I'd be gone.
you can't get the players if you're already committed to a team and you're happy there, even though everything here is free. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to just leave and go and play with, something that you don't know. Oh, they just paying for everything, But they always say you get what you pay for too. So that's the other side of it. But if he's there long enough, it may not be with this group of 10-year-olds, but it may be with the next group of good teams coming now. People are opening and they're not on teams and they're not committed. So now all of a sudden, hey, we got this good organization and they're paying for everything too now. They can start getting those 7s and 8s and 9s that are coming up. But the ones that are 10 now and they're already with a team, now what they're going to do is get a bunch of kids who parents think their kids are better than what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're going to go
That
over
could
here.
also work too, though.
Yeah. It just depends on how you look because everybody think their kid is better than what the kid actually is.
Yeah.
Like Gulf Coast Marlins, coached by former Marlin Chip Umbers.
Well,
Yeah.
Cool.
As long as he's not playing,
That's
you
out
got
of
a chance to win.
Mount Bale. I think they're out of Mount Bellevue, right? Mount Bellevue.
I think so.
Yeah, but it's going when you're new, man, it's hard because what happens is those kids come out of little league, out of their little league where they were all stars, they were good. Okay.
Different game.
Yeah, when you step up and you play against 5-2 strike zone kids who've been playing at a higher level, they're gonna be better at first. Not saying that those kids from the Marlins, as they grow and get older, won't surpass those teams now. But I'm just saying right now, it's hard for you to beat those established team with the established kids because for instance, you take Adidas, man. You got the Chopper kid, you got Hudson Brown, you got the kid Ivy. You know who the good players are. You got Parker throw gas. You know what I'm saying? You got you know who those kids are. You know what I'm saying? So those kids can play, man. You're not gonna just come beat them initially, but Gulf Coast Marlins, it may be next year when they take the step that Dynasty Black, because Dynasty Black took a step up. Now they're already qualified, elite qualified, and they were middle of the pack, just last year.
Yeah.
But man, they kids got better.
Yeah,
they
for
have
sure.
a really good coach, even though he told me to shut up. The guy is a really good baseball coach, and then when you watch him play, you're gonna say, "Damn, okay, this guy know what he's doing." I mean, they're gonna play small ball, they're gonna bunt, they're gonna play situational baseball. They don't just rip the hell out of the ball, but they got a couple of kids can hit the ball hard. But he managed the game. You know what I'm saying? He'll drop that bunt down on you, man. And that 9-hole hitter is a small kid will come up and hit a rocket somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So, it's a good team, man. Coaching starts to make a difference when you start getting up around 9 and 10. And the quality, if you come like we played 9U in the World Series, the quality of baseball at 9U is ridiculous. I could not play baseball that well as a 9-year-old. Man, you hit a ball to the outfield in the air, man. Guys, good kids getting under the ball. They're to the point now where they get there, they catching it like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they play so much baseball at a high quality. Like how many errors you saw when we were playing and when we got to that bracket round? Hardly any errors, right?
None.
If you ball hit to a kid, you're out.
Yeah.
I mean, the quality, man.
It
And
was
then the
great
best
baseball.
metro area for baseball in the country is the Houston metro area.
So, are you guys going to win the NIT in March?
Yeah, we will. We will win one. I mean, I think we're now. They said now you see there's the Super NIT that's coming out in March.
Yeah.
They said what MVP's coming.
MVP's bringing their B team, from what I understand.
SBA.
SBA's coming.
Kangaroo Court?
Not
Or is that
Kangaroo
11?
Court. The Detroit team, Motor City Hate Dogs.
Yeah, man.
Damn, let's look at it, man.
Let me tell you, man. Last year, best teams we saw, and then Brad Cressy would tell me this all the time. That's why they came over to Houston so much to play, because you come here, you got 5 teams that could play. Nobody else. The team Pace, Florida had the good team. You got all of those teams down in Miami, but they weren't really that good. It was the SBA team out of North Carolina. It was MVP Hustle. It was Traction. It was us. It was Adidas. It was Swamp Donkeys. It was FTP. So the majority of the good teams, the Piranhas out of Beaumont.
Yeah, they're good.
I mean, they were a good baseball team, man. So you just here in Houston, you got 6 or 7 teams because you really count Beaumont because they playing all the good
Right.
tournaments here. And then what's the team out of Austin?
Hey, Mo, but at some point in time, all
I
these
know what
good
you're talking
teams
about.
have to win a big tournament. You have to.
Yeah, you're gonna win it.
You
You're
have
gonna win
to.
an NIT. We won
No,
an NIT.
no, not NIT. I'm talking about they got to win the elite.
The elite.
Yeah. No BS. You got to win.
We would have won the elite last
At
year.
some point in time, I'm gonna bring my elite trophy so Junior can see it.
Oh, you want one?
Oh yeah.
But you make it like that's an easy task, man. It's not that easy.
If you
man.
do it right.
What you mean?
If you do it right, we went 9-0 at the elite.
Maybe you had better players. Maybe you were a better coach. Maybe everything.
But no.
lined up perfectly.
Oh, you know what? And I tell Junior this all the time. You got to get lucky.
Yeah,
You
man,
have to get lucky.
It's hard to win a championship
And then-
at the elite level in any sport all the way up to the pros, man. It's not easy to win a championship.
Yeah, you have to get lucky. It amazes me how people don't take luck into consideration.
All right, here we go.
And luck is big.
Okay, so Traction Canes is coming.
All right.
TKP Tenu Williams out of Vallejo, California. Motor City Hit Dogs out of
Ooh.
Detroit. So that's 3.
La Miranda's coming?
La Miranda, hold on, I'm going down. Team City is, so that's 4 outside of Houston. Mo City, Marucci Elite, Walk-In, Banditos Black, Bennett, Arlington Twins from Arlington, obviously. La Miranda Titans from Walnut Creek, California. Scorpions Team Easton, 5 Tool. SBA from North Carolina. Adidas, MVP Hustle Rodriguez, out of Norwalk. Backyard Ballers, Force as a Scratch, and Strike Zone. 15. That's pretty. That's
And
that's
it's
a high-
early. It's
high-
early.
and
It's
that's
early
high.
right now, so you don't know.
Probably get about 30,
Yeah,
31,
so
somewhere on there.
and now you really have to have pitching depth because now it's a single bracket on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, now they're extending it to Monday for this tournament.
Why wouldn't they do it Friday?
They're skipping Friday. They're gonna play Saturday, Sunday, and then semifinal will be 10 o'clock Monday, and championship is 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. The reason they did it is because that's spring break here.
Okay.
So that Monday's off. We had USSSA director Darren Larson in the house, and he explained it. We're actually gonna record a show live from there, so we'll be able to interview some of these guys. But that's what he said so far.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be a hell of a tournament, man.
Oh, yeah,
that's
You
gonna be
talk
awesome.
about that, man. And you want the competition, man. You want
Yeah.
the kid to be competitive, the tournament to be competitive.
The only problem with that tournament right there is if you're a fan, who do you go see?
FTP.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
But if you're a fan
Go
of
see
just
Mo.
baseball in general, there's going to be a lot of good baseball from the 8U all the way to
I will
13.
wait. This is what I would do. If I was a fan, I'm gonna come to bracket play, and when you get to like the final 8 teams, because that's where the quality is gonna be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you're gonna see quality baseball. I'm talking about
So
kids
just
making
on Sunday.
plays.
Just on
kids
Sunday.
making plays. Yeah, kids making
Yeah.
plays. Because they're gonna be some dogs in there too. Now you don't know
Oh,
who
yeah.
you don't know who the dogs are.
Yeah.
But when you get to those last 8 teams,
Yeah.
man,
They're
you're
gonna be
see-
good ones.
It's
And,
gonna be quality.
It's going to be
baseball.
played at Siena. So if anybody wants
Yeah.
to watch it,
That's where it's always at.
it will be at Siena.
That's where
So
it's
all you
always
gotta
at.
do is
Yeah, they got
park.
nice fields out there.
You can park.
Turf.
You can park right there at Steve's house,
Yep.
and then ride his golf cart over there.
Yeah, I'll probably be at Big League Dreams.
Well, let us borrow the golf cart.
Hey, but the good thing about Big League Dreams is on Sunday you're done by 6, irregardless, because of softball.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
that's a
you're
good
done.
thing.
Yeah.
You get in and out of there. Not like they run the Governor's game. That's a 3-day tournament
Yeah.
in softball. That's Friday, Saturday, and
Yeah.
Sunday.
Yeah, that's
because
right.
we did that
did
this
that
past
last
year.
year. Yeah.
We should have won that, and we lost in the finals of that, didn't we?
It's a traction game.
Traction Kings, man.
Another
We don't
close
tag
game.
up again, man. The ball to the outfield.
I don't remember that game, but I remember it was close.
I remember that game
It
because
was.
we had a chance for a big inning,
Yeah.
and then Poppy doesn't tag up.
Oh, that is right.
That's one thing you have to work on with kids this age. Any fly ball to the outfield with less than 2 outs, please be standing on third base. Please be standing on third base, because if the kid don't catch it, you're gonna score. If he catches it, you're gonna score.
Yeah.
If the kid is 5 feet off the bag, now he's got to go back and tag.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
You see that every weekend.
Every
Yeah,
week.
hey,
Every
that
week.
tournament was
that
hot,
pisses me
too.
off.
Ooh,
We
man.
played backyard. Man, we played 4 games?
4 games.
4 or 5. We played
Yeah.
backyard ballers. We played like 2 teams out of
If you watch my
Louisiana.
videos, man, Jalen was always on base when Kalen hit a home run.
Yeah.
So here come Jalen trotting around the base and Kalen behind him. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
funny.
That was man. We had came back on those guys, man, and they always managed. That's when they squared around the bunt and slapped the ball. You remember that?
Yeah.
Oh man, they're already talking about it. I don't know what's going on. About the I vote the new studio upgrades or upload speed. Man, I do not know what's going on.
No, we
but
did. That's the reason why our show was canceled on
This
Tuesday.
is a question I have for you, Steve.
Yeah.
We playing traction, right?
Yes, sir.
And the kid squares around the bunt, and he pulls it back and slaps the ball through shortstop. And we were saying that in Texas you couldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy said, "Yeah, it's not in the rule book, but in Louisiana you can do it."
Yeah.
And that's the way
Yeah.
they got us, man.
And then when-
Because there's
yeah.
different rules. I mean, and when you play perfect game, I mean, it's totally different rules from.
Have you ever you seen anybody get hurt like that?
what?
Slashing?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because
At that age, you really can't control the bat, dude. I mean,
No,
I mean, so
no.
Especially
you don't know
them
where it's going,
composites.
dude.
Man.
Yeah, I'm with the not doing that. So, that's how I see it, Junior. But who knows?
It's crazy, man. The things that guys do to win, man. This stuff is pretty competitive out here, man.
Oh yeah.
Y'all make it seem like I'm the only guy that go crazy at the baseball game. Yeah. I'm the only guy. I'm the big bald-headed black guy that's going crazy over there. We need to get security and stuff.
Maybe
right?
the loudest.
Yeah.
How would the loudest be?
The loudest, man.
Hey, one of the backyard ballers moms, Beth, said that she can top you. That's what she said.
She may be able to top me. Hey, I have nothing but good things to say about the backyard ballers, man. I love their team. I love their coach, man. I just love what they do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And they're good people because we always see them out there, man. We have good conversation. They got the left-handed pitcher named Major.
Oh, yeah, that's
And
right.
that kid is...
That's his name?
Yeah, his
Major?
name.
Okay.
Yeah.
Major is his first name, and he's actually, he plays up a year.
Wow.
But he has good stuff.
Yeah, he's a little lefty.
Yeah, he's got
Nice.
good stuff, man.
Nice.
You know,
Good
he
job.
pitched us tough. We beat him, but he pitched us tough, man. In Louisiana, that was my first time seeing him. You remember the guy?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Man,
That's right.
Man, he pitched us tough because I'm saying to myself, man, we gonna walk over this team. You know what I'm saying? Man, that lefty,
Yeah.
boy, that guy was on the mound dealing, boy.
That game was what, like 12 o'clock noon, blazing sun,
Blazing sun. We
freaking hot.
It's coming again.
had to come back. We had to
It's
come back.
coming
We had to come
again.
back and beat him, man.
Yeah.
It's coming again.
You know, I tell
Soon.
anybody, man, you don't cut any lefties if they pitch. You don't cut any lefties, man.
Keep them on.
You got to keep them on, man.
Yeah, got to keep them on. I'm with you on that one.
Oh yeah, because they you don't see them that much.
Do not see them at all.
You know,
Exactly.
so, especially at the younger ages.
Yeah.
And we have 2 on FTP.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna win the elite? You got to call it right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
of course,
All right. Cool.
of
Nice.
course. You know what else I'm gonna say, man? I don't. Man, hey, I never take the field thinking that we're gonna lose and stuff. You know, that's just the way I am.
Yeah,
you
no,
know,
for sure.
You know, I think we got a good ball club. You know, I think there's other good ball clubs, and we want to play the best ball clubs.
Yeah.
You know,
Just gotta play.
Yeah, I don't want to just beat up on
Anything
team
can
that-
happen when you start
anything
playing.
Can look. We lost Saturday. Anybody could beat you.
Yeah.
The
You don't
one
come
thing
ready to
about
play?
baseball, if you got a kid on the mound that can pitch,
And he dominates that day. You're
you
done.
got a chance to win the ball game. You
You're
know what I'm
done.
saying? That team might not be that good, but they got that one kid that get on the mound, man. And it's normally, you know what's so crazy? It's normally a kid that's barely reaching the plate.
Yeah.
You play those kids who barely reach the plate, now everybody's off balance. You know
Yeah.
what I tell my kid? Man, I don't want to hear that. That kid is throwing one speed.
Make the
Yeah.
adjustment.
Make the adjustment. He's throwing one speed.
Yeah.
Stay back. If the ball's at the outside of the plate, let the ball get deep. Hit the ball the other way. Because if you gotta let the ball travel if you get the ball with power if it's on the outside of the plate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If not, you're reaching for the ball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So let the ball get deep. Hit the ball the other way.
Yeah. They don't do that.
No. You know,
They don't do that. So.
well, they'll get ahead of the ball and then they'll, they make all kind of excuses and they come back whining. Man, nobody want to hear all that. hit the ball, man.
Oh, that's funny.
You know one of my pet peeves? Because we had a good ball
Yeah,
club,
yeah.
right? If we lose a game and one of our kids come back over there crying because they didn't do something well, man, let me tell you something. We're a good team. We have mystique. People are afraid of us, even though they may be whipping us. They may be afraid of us. When they see you crying, they start to think, oh, okay, man, we can get them now. They look weak. Man, come back over there with a frown on your face, put your helmet up, put your bat down, grab your glove and go out on the field, man.
Yeah.
We not crying, man.
Yeah.
There's no crying in baseball. You saw the movie?
Man, but that's like common now, right? Like everybody's freaking crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to stop,
like-
man.
But that's that participation thing. Everybody get a trophy thing. You know what I'm saying? Man, I'm an old school dad, man. Man, look, man, I don't want my boys crying. I don't care if people said, oh, this, that, and the other. man, I don't pay any attention to all that new school stuff. All the new school stuff has got us crazy right now.
Yeah.
Man, my boy, I don't want my boys crying because let me tell you something. The longer you live in this life, there's gonna be a lot of things that you're gonna run into that want to make that make you want to cry. Man, you got to put your big boy britches on, man. Get out there and get it
Let's
done.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, we ain't with all that stuff, man. How you look going home, man, and just crying in front of your wife, man? I don't think that's a good look, man.
She's gonna be like, man, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah,
You didn't leave us any cookies, man.
yeah, man. I'm crying, man. I'm going home, man. I'm a roughneck.
That's
You know what
funny.
I'm saying? A gorilla pimp.
Hey Mo, before we go, I gotta tell you something. Since you're from Louisiana, one of the best times I ever had in Louisiana was when I went with my friend. His family was from Opelousas, and I tell you, we left Houston like around 10, 11 o'clock at night, maybe about 10, and we got there. It was about 2, 3 in the morning. After we made stops and all this and all that, we went to this shack. I'm talking like a shack. And we got some pork chops and some red beans and rice. The best I've ever had in my whole life. 3 o'clock in the morning.
Hadn't had mine.
They're good?
Everything
Okay,
I do.
well,
is
then we
good.
need to go. Junior, we need to go.
Let's go.
We need to go to Mo's house.
I'm talking about
go.
when I see what I do with the pork chop, man.
I heard about that. Mo
I
talked about
I
that.
smother them down. I put a little flour on them, brown them a little bit, smother them down in some onions and bell pepper, put a little kitchen bouquet, make that gravy. Oh, my God.
You good?
Oh, man.
You like-
Sounds good.
It'll make you go home and tell your wife to throw the toilet paper away. Man,
You like Zydeco?
that's Lafayette, Lake Charles, man. I'm from New Orleans, man. We get two-step music
Oh,
and bounce music, baby. We twerk, man. Drop it like it's hot, you know what I'm saying? Bounce it, shake it like it, bounce it like it, twerk it like it. Monkey on the stick, monkey on the stick.
So
Chopper
you-
style,
so-
chopper style.
Are you cash money or you no limit?
Oh, man.
Two different parts.
They had their time, you know. They had their time, you know. Master P was doing their thing big, you know. Then Baby and Slim came up, they were doing their thing big. Manny Fresh,
Yeah.
you know, Juvenile, you know, them boys was doing what they do, man. You know,
Yeah.
so I can't differentiate.
Okay.
You know, I like Soulja Slim. If I want it, I pay for it.
But I'm down to try that, Mo. If you ever make it, let me know.
Yeah, man, I cook that every week, man.
Yeah, we need to go out there. Hold
Yeah, I'm
on.
gonna have to cook something for y'all one day. I got the big black cast iron pot, man. I make jambalaya, pasta, I do it all, man.
Do you really?
Man,
Nice.
every man from Louisiana know how to cook. My ball crawfish is like no other. If you don't believe me, Ruben might be mad with me right now, but ask him about my crawfish.
I heard about it. I hadn't tried it yet.
And everything I do, man. I was raised
I
in
haven't-
what's
I
called the river parishes, right?
I have not met a bad cook from Louisiana.
Yeah, me either.
That depends, man. Because let me tell you something. The best food that's cooked in Louisiana, of course, I'm biased, is from the river parishes. The
Okay.
river parishes are the 3 parishes right below Jefferson Parish, which Jefferson is adjacent to Orleans Parish. But it's St. Charles Parish, St. John Parish, St. James Parish. It's right on the Mississippi River. It's called the river parishes. It run,
Okay.
You got East Bank and West Bank on both. That's where the best food's cooked.
Okay.
Best foods cooked, man. I'm telling you, our gumbo tastes different. Our jambalaya tastes different. Our beans taste different. Stuffed bell peppers, man. I got people right now, man, bug me.